we raised our hands, yo, we swore an oath. One last party, a toast, saying bye to our folks. The blood of 9/11 made me wanna get to step and found a common ground. Brothers who also like bigger weapons. Attack on the twins, no reality set in. I got their back, yes I did. The beast in me is militant, hesitant, not so much. Fell the ranks with a bunch, little homesick, we were stuck. Basic training was enough. Started champing, yes I did. Every Sunday for my sins. Look for God in the sky, please protect me so I don't die. Forgive me, Lord, for what I'm about to do. Your love and words will die by. Ain't no stopping, we come knocking. Pop, lock, and drop 'em. Bum saying fuck you. Blown saying I chew. We done got you. Higher IQ, technology saying that's cute. Strategy in the stratosphere. Packing heat, skin tear. ID stay clear. Bum strapped there. Where? Watch the kids, watch their wives. Suicides, they try. Think they got 9 lives in the name of Allah. Duty called, we rose. Bomb malls with drones. Small and tall, we pros. Weaponry is lethal. Lost some bros in the game. We were pain when it came. Dog tags off the chains, prayed that we made a change. There's a price for us to be free, paid by the man that cries to sleep. There's a price for us to be free, paid by the man that cries to sleep. Yeah, yeah.
What's up, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 75th installment of the Bobby Couto Show. We got some friends today. Say what's up on the live cast.
What's up?
My man Vito with the introduction, Tears of Men. That just came out, right? A couple days ago, bro?
Yeah, about a week now.
Yeah? Sounds good, my man.
They appreciate that.
Dude, how can people go listen if they want to listen?
I'm on YouTube, all music platforms.
My man Vito?
Most of them anyway.
My man Vito?
Yep, my man Vito. Yep. Subscribe, please.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right. Let's get this all set up. It's been a minute.
It has.
It's been a minute.
Sir.
All right. Let's see here. I know it didn't sound so good, but I actually did mute it. I faded out. Wow. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the 75th installment. Listen, I'll just say thank you to everybody. I know it's been a minute since we've produced anything. Before I've been here, and I reached out to these guys, and I'm like, hey, listen, I think it's time we get back hot and heavy, and there's some conversations and things to talk about. Obviously, things are not the way we'd like them to be, but there's a lot of good shit going on too, bro. Right? Like it's not all bad. Like I think in consideration to you know what though? Like I'll say this, start off the show. Like I don't think it's bad enough yet, right? I think it's safe to say that we tolerate what we tolerate to the point where I think we all get to that point where like enough is enough, right? We draw that line in the sand and we say we're not going to allow this any further. But I don't hear anybody saying that.
I don't hear much.
Governor,
honestly.
Texas.
Oh well, that's big.
You know what though? That's funny too though. Like even with Abbott and that whole situation with the federal government and the state and them not allowing the federal government. Like, honestly, do you believe? I do. Do you believe that if the federal government say that we're going to cut funding to Texas, do you think that would make a difference? Do you think he'd still continue to do that?
Yep.
You think he'd still?
Oh, I think it would escalate.
Yeah, but dude, you're Navy, right? Right, retired Navy. Do you feel that at any point? Like standing in that, like, so even regardless of anything else, do you believe that those troops or those soldiers would actually follow the direction to be like, hey, shoot?
Nah,
shoot?
No. If it's against the Constitution, that would be unlawful. That'd be. But
that's what you hear on social media. Is the first thing people are saying is, oh, Civil War. Like this is going to be the start of the Civil War. This will be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Well, that's what started the Civil War originally. The federal government was trying to go to states, and
slavery was a big part of that.
Yeah.
But I feel I don't think we'll get to that point. Honestly, I just hope we come to an agreement and realize these people. I don't think these people are gonna go soft.
No, I think what just happened now in Texas is they're not going to back out.
Yeah, no,
they're going to stand their ground. They got 15 governors, 25 states.
Yeah, they're in too deep now. I mean,
there's no way that they're backing away from this and just say, "Oh,
no, this is our
country."
But do we all agree that this is, without question, this is all preventable?
Absolutely.
Of
course,
no point.
and that's why he's doing
That's
it.
what people need to understand. And that's what people need to hear is that this, in fact, is absolutely and utterly avoidable in every way.
You gotta ask yourself too: is this
It's absurd.
why is the president right now
Mm-hmm.
making such a big fuss over this? What if the National Guard is actually stopping these people from coming in, and he couldn't do it? Why does he want his people to go back in there?
Right.
Why does he want these people to come in?
Well, I guess the argument
What is
Right, well, that's
what
what
is
we're
the
all
point? Why is he
wondering.
why is he making such a big fuss?
I like to
Right?
answer some of that, and I think if you ask most people that question, most people will say the common answer, which is the Democrats want to vote, right? So they're bringing these people in because they know that they're going to vote Democrat. I take it a step further than that. I think
But they can't even vote.
I did. Yeah,
Right.
but I think that might be a part of it. That
Yeah.
shit's changing right now, bro.
Right. Well,
But-
local vote.
Right.
Local,
But that's how it starts. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like once you
exactly.
get your foot in the door, it's
Right.
all over. But I think this is there's something more, much more dangerous going on here, right? So
Yeah.
what I believe it is do you recall? It was New York, so it was like suspected, and you could search someone just based on. Right, like if you thought, do you remember they did that? Like if you saw somebody in
it
the
was-
street, you had the right to search them and ask them for identification, right?
What, during COVID?
No,
This is
this was
before. This is
before
actually
COVID.
Mayor Giuliani. I think it was what do they say, the broken window
Yeah.
philosophy, where
Uh-huh.
if you stop the criminals from breaking glass, then they don't even break into the building.
Right.
Like, so prevent it from there. So what they were doing is they were allowing law enforcement to check for IDs.
Right.
So, September 11th, we flew airplanes into a building, all in the name of what? The Patriot Act,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which gave the government the ultimate control over our information. They could do whatever they wanted. FISA court, we know the bullshit. They could do whatever they want. How about this now creates a narrative where even the MAGAs are going, yeah, I'm cool with you checking IDs.
Right.
Because why? Because
Fear factor.
Because
Yeah.
what's the percentage of these people that are in the country now that if we in true in fact, so Trump comes in and Trump says, we're going to deport everybody. I want everybody out. Okay. How do you do that?
Right.
Well,
You don't know where they are.
What's
follow-
the first question?
You follow the money, right?
Right.
Like they-
Right, but your first question is what? Where's your ID?
Right.
yeah.
If you can present with ID, then you
Yeah.
belong here. If you
Right,
don't have
the papers.
ID,
Need your
right?
papers.
Yeah.
So I really do believe that this is that next step. I think they're creating, and everybody's like, well, the Democrats, you know what? The Democrats, the Republicans, guys, they're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
They're all creating
Oh,
the
of course.
same, it's all the same narrative, dude. It's all the same story. And I believe this, with the WEF, you hear Schwab, what he's saying. Like, this isn't by accident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I truly believe that Mayor Wu is an implant. Like, without question, that woman is an absolute implant.
Oh, the mayor of Boston?
No, Boston.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Absolutely, without question.
Yeah.
But I just, and I don't want to get too far off on the, because
Right.
this is what everybody's talking about. But I took it the next step when I realized, hey, you know what? A cop comes up to you and says, hey, show me your ID. Unless you're suspecting me of a crime.
Yeah, I got
Go
right.
fuck yourself.
Right.
Right? I ain't gonna
Yeah.
give you shit. But now, if they pass a law where it says you are obligated to identify yourself in any situation, in any circumstance.
But the Constitution supersedes any law.
Right.
You would think.
But the Constitution also protected your privacy, and we gave that up on September 11th.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I think if the situation is extreme enough,
Kind of,
I do believe that there's always that. Again, I believe that we are very programmable, and I believe that at some point you can get pushed into that, and I think that's.
well, everybody did during COVID,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? For the first 6 months, everybody was all about it, and then everybody just was like, "Wait a minute."
We realized
this-
it wasn't
none of
really-
this shit that you're telling us is
Nothing's factual.
Yeah.
right.
Nothing's factual.
Yeah.
Nothing's
First,
factual.
masks don't work, then masks work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Masks work, but
Yeah.
then they don't work to an extent.
Yeah.
Take this, and it'll prevent you from getting this.
Right.
But no, it's not going to prevent you from getting that anymore.
Right.
Well, people
It's
like
only going
us.
to protect yourself.
Right.
So it's all the narrative that
Well,
they
you get
send
the
out to you for the
Rachel
first.
Maddows of the world now.
Right.
Like, they're on television, they got mud on their faces because the internet's forever.
Right.
Like, whatever you put on the internet, and now they're saying when she was saying those things, like the COVID stops with the vaccinated person, that it stops there, and we know that
It doesn't.
17
Not
million people
Yeah.
dead later. 17
Right.
million
Isn't that
people.
something?
17 million. Nobody's talking about that number. You know what?
No,
Too,
never.
I'll call Fox out too. I'm done with Fox. Like they're just as bad. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the local news, or if there's something's on, like I come home from work, I want to put, hey, what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Like it's my quick. I'd rather go there than CNN.
I don't even look at local news.
But
I go outside the country.
I just find that the narrative is constantly like just spinning and spinning. But I don't want to get too far off. I know you guys mentioned COVID. Let's talk about Rule 213, Joe. Like I know that you
2.13, yeah.
2.13.
Yeah.
I know that you mentioned this and something that we were talking about. And I don't think a lot of people are aware of exactly what this is.
This is the next step, kind of like what happened with 9/11, when you gave up your rights to go ahead and let them go into your privacy of your phones and everything else, right? This is the next step, where they're just going to come in and take you, and they'll just deem you have a virus.
So before
you don't have to prove it.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to prove it. They could just take you to a quarantine camp, right? This is what they're going to do. Take you to a quarantine camp, give you full of medicine, and no tests, no nothing, and they will just deem you when you're ready to go back out.
Is this something voted by the people, though?
This was passed through New York, then it got shut down through the courts, and then the state challenged the courts again. They won again. Now they're challenging you again into I think it's the Supreme Court of New York. It's going to go through there.
I have a clip.
If it passes through there,
so New York Rule
those people in New York are screwed.
just passed, where if they see fit that they can go into their citizen's home and take them away to quarantine or isolation for any virus that they deem necessary.
There you go. So that is exactly what it is.
And they don't have to prove that you have the virus. There's no tests, no doctors, nothing.
Right.
They could just come right into your home or in the hospital. You could give birth to a newborn and they'll take you away. They'll deem
For what
you
though? For
anything.
Under what guidance? Like
Anything.
Anything.
That's their way of getting.
Someone has pink eye. They're gonna take them in.
You don't even have to test.
But that's just it, dude. That's because
the
because
problem.
they don't create. It's such a gray area.
Yeah.
Who determines that? They determine whatever they want to determine.
You don't need a doctor. You don't need a
That's
doctor. Nothing.
discrimination.
Right.
They could go show up to your workplace.
Right.
So basically, this is their way of getting all these
They're gradually working their way to something.
you know how the liberals and Democrats call the MAGA people, right? They can go ahead and start going after those people and just say that they got a virus and hey, come on, you're coming with me. You're going to this camp, and we're gonna pump you with some medicine and experimental medicines. They can pump you with if they want. If you really look into
like
it
us
and read it, there's no definitive answer of how they can test you or what they deemed as you thinking that you have a virus. Basically,
It don't make sense.
Right. Well, that's the point, though, and that's the narrative.
that's their way of getting around your rights to the Constitution. These
Yeah,
liberals, these lefts, they're great at getting around the Constitution.
That's because they got
I can
idiots
tell you.
following them. You know, like they
They're
got other sheep.
really good at trying to get. They know they can't get rid of the Constitution, so what they're going to do is go around it.
Yeah.
Just like right now in the state of Massachusetts, in 5 other states, they want to stop the sale of all 5.56 rounds ammo.
That's,
Right?
That's the
Your
only way to take
Constitution.
full
What's your
control is taking
Constitution
away
say? You
ammunition.
have the right to bear arms.
Yeah, uninfringed.
Right. Unfringed.
Unfringed, yep.
Hey,
Yep.
here you go. We can't get rid of your weapons.
Yep.
You can have your
Yeah,
weapons.
they'll restrict. They'll do
but there's
whatever
no
they want.
ammo.
Yeah, they do whatever they
We're
want.
not going to allow you to
Absolutely.
buy the ammo anymore.
They're gonna piss a whole lot
And then
of people off.
and then they'll ban
what
the
are they
sale
gonna do?
of gunpowder.
Vito, what are they going to do, bro?
What are they gonna do to us? Or
Well, people get pissed off, but what do they do?
Right.
they haven't done shit.
They haven't done
obviously.
shit, like we keep saying, and back to my original point. It's not bad enough yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's to the point where you say.
I don't think anybody wants to go and do that again.
No, well,
Right. You don't want a civil
nah,
war.
Of course not.
Right.
We love our country.
Right.
Me personally, I love people,
Right.
whether they're right or
You
wrong.
don't want it.
No.
So you
No.
let the court process and you take that hit for
We put our trust
however
in that.
long it takes
but
to
even
go through
this,
the courts.
You lose faith in everything,
Yeah.
Right.
bro. Like
Yeah.
even
It's a
with,
smack in the
again,
face.
and this isn't about like supporting Trump and how great Trump
Nah,
is.
yeah,
It's not
that's-
about that.
nah.
It's about 91 indictments that don't make any fucking sense, dude.
It's about the Constitution.
It's about them showing us that they can do whatever they want with the law, and there is nothing we can do about it.
Right.
You know, people keep saying it. And I don't want to sound cliche, but what they're doing to him is what they'll do to us.
Yeah.
Like, dude, in the comparison, they always say, well, Trump has foreign money. Well, Trump has a fucking business.
Yeah, he has
like he makes
businesses
business. Like he has
overseas.
businesses that legitimately justify the money.
Right.
Well, Biden is worth $100 million and he doesn't have a business. Like, there is no actual business ever in his name.
Let me say something to the people. Make sure you read your Bill of Rights and your Constitution. Every
Man.
single one of y'all, even the
won't.
illegals, come
They
in
won't.
here, you
They
read
won't.
that.
Dude, the same people they'll read scripture from the Bible and never read the Bible in their lives. You know what I mean? They'll wear a 316 shirt, but they never know. They've never read the Bible. They have no idea.
Well, they just
the
enjoy
context
wrestling.
of it. Regardless if you're religious or not, like reading something like that, it's good. It's
We
just,
live,
it's, right?
we live in
To
a
be able to
society
understand.
where you're guilty until proven innocent, and even
Yeah.
when you're proven innocent, you're still guilty.
Yeah.
That's
they'll
the
go
way
after you
that's
later.
the way America is right now.
Yeah.
You gotta face it.
No, it's true. But
Because as soon as somebody says something, even if they deem it not true,
Yeah.
it's already out there
So-
in the world.
So let's talk about this.
And
real
people
quick.
roll
Let's
with
just
it.
shifting a little bit. So this idea that, you know, you would say that we're in a situation now, like what I like to call landmines, right? Like no matter where I go, like actually we're three white males, so immediately we're already white supremacists. Even before we left the house in the morning, before you put your shoe on, you're a white supremacist,
Ain't
right?
that something?
So this narrative exists and lives out there, right? And so by some way, shape, or form, people are demanding that I respect them or their ideas. Like, quite frankly, I will respect the fact that we're in a community, right? I don't know you, and I might hold a door open for you, but that's pretty much, because otherwise, like, I have no investment in you. Like, what do I care what you do? But somehow we have a society of people that, you know, and I will say this out loud, and I will own it, I'm not afraid to say it.
That's right.
Of psychosis. You have people, you know, there was a time where I can't speak for the rest of the country, but I know here in Massachusetts, we used to take care of our psychologically ill. We used to have these institutions where if someone was deemed, you know, mentally inept, like they would go to a location and be treated for that, whether it be medications, whether it be therapy, whatever it was.
get
We no
PCA,
longer
whatever.
have that. There's our psychologically hurt people are just wandering around, right? And not to please don't. I'm not putting everybody in one boat, but I have to say that people that are involved, like say in the sense that they want to be transsexuals and they want to be transgender and they want to like all of these, they want to be gay, they want all these things that they want to be that are what we would classically say is out of the norm, right?
10 years ago, we would have said that was a mental health issue.
Yeah, right. So my point saying is like, so I believe, this is just my opinion, if you are transgender, right, I shouldn't even know it.
No.
Right, like that's like to me. If you expect me to respect you as a woman or a man, whichever whatever you're trying to do, right?
Right.
I shouldn't know the difference. That's where the argument starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you walk into a restaurant with a beard, a fucking wig, and hairy legs, with a dress that's 3 times too small for you, and somehow you want me to refer to you as ma'am, I'm not crazy like you are.
Right.
Like and by the fact of me like engaging in that, it makes me just as crazy as you, bro.
Right,
I'm not gonna do it.
No.
I'm not gonna do it.
No.
And so I guess the point to my rant here is quite simply this: you can be anything you want to be, but don't expect everybody around you to accept it.
Right.
Like not everybody gets a fucking trophy, and that's what we're dealing with today, guys.
Yeah.
These are the people. Everybody got a trophy. Nobody knows what it's like to lose, right? Nobody knows what it's like to. And how dare you tell somebody they can't? What do you mean I can't? Right?
Yeah.
And
This
so
is America.
we live in this environment where, and the thing is, I don't blame people for this. I blame the governing parties for this.
Yeah.
Because
leaders.
if you let your child run around your house and draw all over the walls, guess what your child's going to do? Run around the house and draw all over the walls.
He's gonna be-
You have to be the governing body to say, hey, Timmy, hey, Sally, run on the walls again, and I'm going to knock you out.
That's
like,
right.
that's...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They're taking away our parental rights to these children. You know, well, they're taking our rights in general. Like, they want to control everything. So how the hell can we control our society if we don't have
It's exhausting.
It,
Dude, it's absolutely
Overwhelming,
exhausting. I'll
yeah.
say it. It's exhausting. And it's not about picking a fight with anybody, because I'm not. Because, dude, I want to just, let's all get along.
Be at peace,
Let's
yeah.
all get, I don't care. I don't care if you want to be a woman. That's your prerogative.
That's fine, yeah.
But don't expect me to accept it if it's obvious to me that you're not putting a lot of effort into it. Right? Like, you don't look like a woman.
right.
But yet you want me to perceive you as a woman going into a ladies' room.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
No, me neither.
If I don't know the difference, right? How many times, guys, do we walk right by a transgender woman
and you don't even know.
And we have no
Oh,
idea.
some of them
Right.
look better than women.
Dude,
Yeah.
for real. Like, you know what? Like,
It's
I
not
know-
the
I know-
problem. It's
dude,
not the problem that they think they're women or a man or whatever.
Yeah.
The problem is when you throw it down our throats that we have to accept that.
Yes.
It's out in the open,
Yes.
and where our
Yes.
children
Because-
know it.
There's things that they don't accept,
Yeah.
and they can, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If
So-
if basically, listen, in 150 years from now, if archaeologists, if they came out and just dug your body up, right, and you got bones, that's how they're going to determine you're a man or a
Yeah.
female, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The flesh that you cut off your arm to make a penis is not going to be there.
Right.
So they're not going to know the difference.
The makeup that you put
Absolutely.
on,
And
all
that's-
that,
and
all
that's-
that
you know
stuff
what?
that you put,
And that's a shitty
none of that's going to be
realization for
there.
somebody who
That's a good
genuinely is in the process or genuinely has decided that they want to transition, right? Legitimately. Not a 10-year-old, not a 13-year-old where they're chopping off their penises and
Yeah,
they're cutting off
not
their
cool.
breasts. You know, they have no idea of the consequences of what they've done. None whatsoever. And these parents that allow this, like,
When you're an adult, go ahead and do what you want.
you can do what you want.
18
I mean,
years
granted,
old,
that's
you
not
want
to
to go
say-
and do what you
dude,
want.
that's
But
not to
as
say-
a child, you don't make
No, you don't.
right decisions,
Right.
because if they can make that decision,
Right.
then they should be able to go and vote.
Yeah.
They should
You can drive.
They should be able to gamble.
Yep.
Go to
They should
war.
be able to buy alcohol, cigarettes,
Yeah, exactly.
whatever.
Yeah. No. They're
Because that's a
children.
bigger decision than that.
They don't
in
know
my-
nothing.
Yep.
Right.
Children.
Yep. Yep. But what they do
Still
know,
don't know. You still learning.
But what they do
I'm
know is
43
what-
years old, still learning.
it's what
Absolutely.
they see in social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You
that's
know
the
what I mean?
problem.
It's what they see in their parents. Like a lot of these women, I don't really see it in men. I hate to say this, but a lot of these women are taking these young children to drag shows.
Yeah.
Like I don't. And people are like, oh, what's wrong with it? Like I just don't understand. Like why would you do that?
Yeah. It's not normal.
It's just not normal. It's
Right,
just not normal. And you know what? So there's a fine line, right? Drag queen, clown, right? They both wear makeup. They both wear weird clothes. But the clown is playful and
Right.
making balloons. And the other one is sexually driven.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly. Yeah.
there's no other way to put it, right?
Right.
They're wearing and
Chap.
right? Like
So
my
weird.
point is like that's where the psychosis comes in. Because that child doesn't know any different, and that child ends up growing up in a situation where this is all they know.
Yeah.
This is acceptable. This is okay.
It's popular.
Well, this is the warfare. This is psychological warfare
It is.
we're in right now.
It's
It is.
popular.
It is. Do you
That's
guys,
what these kids do.
Do you guys feel like they might be setting us up for something?
Yeah, absolutely. This is just steps.
Right? So
Oh, they've been planning this stuff for years.
because I know you had mentioned it back on the Disgruntled American podcast, so going back, but
I'm just
what
still
what
concerned.
about the chances of Michelle Obama actually making a run at the presidency?
Look what
think
happened
she
to
will.
Hillary.
I think she will.
Yeah.
I
She
think
might,
will.
but
Do you know they approached Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
for
The presidency.
Yeah.
He was on Joe Rogan. I actually I had heard it already before that, and then I knew he was on Joe Rogan, so I listened to the podcast, and he actually talks about it.
yeah, because
And
he wears
they-
dresses.
They brought him in, and he's a Democrat. He's a total
Did you see
Democrat.
a picture of him wearing a dress?
That-
miniskirt?
That's the new thing now. You see that?
You see Cat
That was
Williams'
true, right? That was real?
interview?
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
On the Shay
Cat
Shay?
Williams?
Yeah.
Oh my
You
God.
hear that?
Did you see that? On the
Oh,
Shay Shay
oh,
podcast?
yeah,
It's
oh,
amazing.
absolutely.
Like, he's like, that's
Love
part
it.
of
He
that
just
indoctrination.
exposed how celebrities work.
Yes. That's
How
the
the
indoctrination.
And he ain't gonna fall for that trap.
And he didn't
Right.
fall for
And
it.
he's getting publicity now, millions of views.
Yeah, but a lot of people agree with him.
Hey.
Dave Chappelle.
The truth
Yeah.
Because
hurts.
Dave Chappelle didn't fall for it
No,
either.
right.
Nah.
Same thing. The same thing.
Right.
But you wonder, like, that's we always knew, right? We always knew that shit was going on. Like, you always knew that there was an upper echelon.
I
to
just
that.
think the government wants weak people, weak-minded people.
Yeah,
Because if you're weak-minded, you don't know what's going on, they can control you.
absolutely.
Why do you think that I think that's why they got all these
Yes.
illegals
Yes.
coming into flooded into the
Right.
country.
That's why it's your
Because if they don't
obligation-
know if they don't
No.
know history,
Right.
the American history, if they don't know the
do they care?
Constitution,
Well, that's the only way to
Nothing.
get their citizenship is they learn the history, right?
they
they
can.
don't teach these kids in school how to write cursive.
No.
True.
If you can't write cursive, you can't read cursive.
You can't sign your name.
You can't read the
You
Constitution,
can't
bro.
read the Constitution.
This is true. Well, I mean, it's on Google. You can see it in print.
Right, but the actual form itself,
Well,
if
yeah.
you wanted to
Right.
read it, it's in
Yeah.
cursive.
Yep.
So
And that's the narrative, guys. That's honestly that's the
They're
narrative.
dumbing down the
and
kids.
There's so much going around. Like there's just so much of it that I think we've gotten to the point where you just kind of like the shit goes by. Like we would have been like, hey, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I
Now
know.
it goes by, and we don't
Yeah.
even like. You can't even get on an airplane because the fucking plug is gonna fall. Like for real?
It's sick right now.
Like seriously, man. Like this is, and of course, you know, you start getting into. We can talk about this because I got it all in the show notes. But you start getting into this whole DEI and the diversity, equity, and inclusion. You want to see something?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to share this with you guys because you'll appreciate it. So, and this is a perfect case. If anybody doesn't know what this is, it's a government initiative, and it really is all about not the best candidate for the job, but more meeting the quota of whatever that quota may be, right? Black, white, lesbian,
Okay, whatever the
homosexual.
agenda is.
One of the, you know, diversity,
Yeah.
equity, and inclusion. So
Okay.
it just wouldn't be white people. White
Yeah.
people are excluded.
Oh yeah. Well,
Specifically.
just like Mayor Wu.
And I think, well, Asians are close.
Did you hear about that?
Asians are close.
Christmas
yes.
party?
Yeah, the Christmas party. Yeah. So this,
That's not
White
racist.
people are not allowed at the Christmas
Right,
no,
party.
that's
they're
not
not.
racist. That's
Check
not
this
racist.
out. This is the day in the life of a DEI professional. You ready for this? Check this out.
Come to work with me as a DEI professional. So I'm a DEI specialist at a law firm, and today I'm actually traveling to our New York office. So I have an event there later tonight, but I decided just to work there throughout the day. So once I get to the office, pack my stuff. This view was just incredible, and I started checking emails, writing notes, and I had a meeting with my supervisor about Diversity Week and all the events that we're having. So just going over last minute details, make sure that I fed myself. It was delicious, as you can see. And then I had a orientation session going over all the DEI initiatives for our new hires. At this point, I was exhausted, but the day was not over because I had that event. And it was a wine tasting for all of our women attorneys in New York and our summer associates. So that was fun. I hopped back on the train and head to Philly. Of course, it was delayed, and that was my day.
Well, there you go. That's the day in the life of a DEI professional. So it seems like she got a lot done. A lot of diversity, a lot of equity and inclusion.
A lot of drinking.
With the wine, the food, the buffets, and that's what your tax dollars are paying for, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is. And the worst part is obviously we're here today, guys, and we'll talk about this for an hour. But what's the impact? Like, what could we do? You mentioned it, and the secret is the best version of yourself. Because if you're fat, you're tired, you're weak, they can control you. If
Yeah.
you're not on their medications, if you're not on their government,
Yeah.
you know,
They can't control you.
They can't control you. So personal excellence, guys. That's the key. Personal excellence. There's no other way around it.
You might as well switch the DEI and switch it around to DIE.
Yeah. Die.
Like what the hell?
True. Absolutely. It's so true. Because again,
Ridiculous.
you know what? I will challenge anyone with this narrative. You have to pick a pilot to fly the plane that you're about to travel in with your family, right? You're going to go on an 18-hour flight with your family. You have two pilots. One is a professional pilot that's been flying planes for 20 years, and the other pilot is a DEI candidate that gets the job. Are you getting on that plane?
No. Because when
So-
I switch to E and I, I'm gonna die on that
That's what I'm
plane.
saying. So, like, no joke, dude. Like, when you present that question to people,
That's
if you had the choice, neurosurgeon, right? One surgeon is the best in the world. The other one happens to be gay.
Does he have a degree?
But that's the one they pick.
Right.
Well, I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Because you can be the president of Harvard and just plagiarize and do whatever you want and then just say, well, they're racist. So if you're black today, you could do whatever the fuck you want and then turn around and call everybody racist. Right? No. Like, am I saying something out of line here? I know.
No,
I know
this
this
is where
might
it's
sound a little
leading to.
extreme,
This is what that
but you know
is.
what, dude? Like, I'm just being honest. Like, this is my perception. I am not racist. I don't see color. I don't
No,
care, dude.
not at all.
You know what? You know how I rate people, dude? If I'm digging a hole, pick up
Yeah.
the shovel. You want to help me?
Yeah.
You want my respect?
Yeah.
Help me dig a hole.
Right.
That's where you're gonna earn my respect.
Love and respect
But don't
and
come
look
at
after
me
you.
and say that because of your shortcomings,
Yeah.
that it's somehow you're oppressed because of some idealism. Look, I'm not saying that there aren't racist people out there.
Absolutely.
But I will tell you this
Every
also. Racism is a billion-dollar industry.
Everybody's racist.
Okay?
I'm just
Racist
saying,
is
like,
big money.
look,
Big money.
every race has their own racism. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is
I
it though,
agree.
dude?
You know what
Because
I'm
I
saying?
don't like you? Because I don't agree with the way you do
Because
things.
there's people out
It
there
doesn't
that
matter,
don't like Spanish people. There's people out there that don't like
But that's
Portuguese
okay,
people.
Joe.
Right, but I'm just
As long as they
saying.
keep it to themselves.
But it doesn't matter what skin tone you are. But that's what the government and everybody else
But
wants
why
you to see
isn't it okay, bro?
is that this person has a different skin color tone than you do.
Right.
So obviously now you're
Okay.
racist.
They want to
because of-
divide us.
Because
That's
it's
their way
something
of.
that happened 100 years ago.
Right,
Over
right,
100 years
right.
ago.
Well, they want us to
I
keep
mean,
us
we're a
divided.
lot,
That's what
the
it's about.
world is a lot different.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Is they only go back 100 years because if they went back 200 years, they'd see that everybody was a slave. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that why do you care if I like you or I don't like you?
Right.
That doesn't matter.
No, we don't.
That doesn't matter.
The only thing that matters is the person's character.
That's it. Dude, I'll hold a door for you. I don't care what you are. Doesn't
Yeah.
mean we're friends.
Yeah. you
Doesn't
can be-
matter if you're short.
That's what I'm
short,
saying, bro.
tall, buff,
Yes.
big, what?
Yeah.
If you're,
I don't
if,
care.
People are people.
if my personality matches with your personality,
Yep.
then we're cool.
Absolutely. That's it. Right.
That's it.
See, the way I think, we all came from the same place. And my faith says God.
Right.
God made every single one of us. So to me, you're my brother, she's my sister, everybody's all from the same place. Like, why can't we
Yep.
treat each other the same way?
Yep.
Because there needs to be a division,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's because they're
and
manipulating.
the world has to have division.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, divide and conquer. That's what
Correct.
It is. Yeah.
If we just pinpoint
And that's what
everybody
it is.
against
And that's what
everybody,
it is. And-
then you won't get along.
And that's-
just like in COVID. Oh, the mask people and non-mask people.
Mm-hmm.
You had confliction between the masked people and the non-masked people.
Right.
Then that started dying down, and then it was all a matter of who's the vaccinated people and who's not the vaccinated people. That is their way of getting
Family was
around.
death upon family members.
Right.
Family members. That's
Family
how,
members,
that's-
they divided family members
Yeah.
That's the
just on
programming.
your vaccination or your mask situation.
That's the programming. That's the programming.
Was it you that showed me the video? If I was the devil, this was, no, it was one of my veteran buddies, and I've seen this video before, but he posted to me, in 1960 something, there was a video. If I was the devil, I would do this, I would do that. Everything that's going on right now is in that video.
Yeah.
If I was the devil, I would separate families. I would do this, and everything that's going on is exactly.
Well, it's all
what
in the
that video-
Bible, too.
If
Prophecy, it's all in there. So if you read the Bible, what's going on in the world right now is what this is going on right now.
Yeah.
and that's why
The end times are coming.
I feel like, I mentioned earlier, like it's the stuff that just goes by you, right? So, we're so consumed by this race division, right? Like, and it's everybody now.
That's
like,
the only way they could
Jews,
divide us,
like
all
it's-
amongst
They got it
each
down
other.
to everything, dude. They got the gays, they got the whites, they got the blacks, they got the Jews. Like, they're breaking it into as many small little pockets as they can. And they're going to continue to do that. Why? Because in separation, we're not all talking to each other. If we're all talking to each other, because united we stand, bro, right? Like
there's
that's
a whole bunch of us in them. I'll tell you that.
absolutely. So you've got about 2,000 people that are ruling. This is no different than A Bug's Life. Remember The Bug's Life with the
Yeah.
grasshoppers,
Yep.
right? Like, hey, he says it. Kevin Spacey says, hey, listen, if they realize that there are so many more of them than there are of us,
Right.
that's why we can't even, like January 6th, that can't happen. We can't even let that go a little bit, because if they realize that they have that power, then, and that's why you have people from January 6th still in jail, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nobody's
know.
getting speedy trial.
Yeah.
That's your constitutional right.
There's a lot more videos out now of like FBI agents.
Geofencing.
Yeah,
They reached out to banks. They asked banks to search out and see what people were purchasing, MAGA, Home Depot, whatever it was. Like,
They're
this
doing that
is-
now, too.
This is,
They're going to give the government the right to look at your credit card
Yes.
statements
Yeah.
on certain things you buy at certain locations like Dick's and stuff like that.
Well, this is the whole point of the whole digital currency thing now.
Well, they
They
can
full
control you.
control.
Right.
They know exactly what you're buying, and
Listen to this.
There's
So
no catch.
listen to this. So that's why they want you to go all electric. All electric. You
they
need
can shut your shit down. They can
Right.
see exactly what you're talking.
the
in
Ford,
car.
the new Ford vehicles. If you go buy a new Ford all electric vehicle, they got it programmed to where if you miss a payment, they can shut your AC off and your heat off.
They shut the whole shit
You
down.
missed the second payment. Hey, you missed the second payment. They can literally program that car, drive itself
Drive it. I was gonna say.
right back to the
Yeah.
dealership.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want the government? Now, if Ford can do that,
Yeah.
you sure as hell
Oh, you know, the
believe
Japanese-
the government can get into that,
absolutely.
or any
Absolutely.
hacker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
And all they need to do is, if they want to get
Yes.
rid of you or do anything,
Yes.
cut your brakes. They don't.
Yes.
We're gonna
This is
shut that
true.
feature off. Boom, done.
Did you see the? Okay, so
Why
did,
would you give? Why would you do that?
Did you see the video?
Control,
of,
brother.
Yeah, that's what.
Control.
It's
And
about.
it don't work, and it's still you see all these
It's
people
so
with
funny
the
you bring up
with the
Ford.
electric companies.
Have you heard about this?
What?
Ford? Have you heard about Ford?
No.
I got a clip. Check this out.
Ford's biggest factory in the world shut down yesterday after 8,700 employees walked off the job.
Well, we've never seen it before. In 80 years, we've always been able to work through these differences.
Ford is in the midst of a colossal EV crisis, one that could reshape the very foundation of the auto industry. With over 92,000 unsold Ford electric cars gathering dust and a staggering $4.5 billion loss in just a year, the company is in deep trouble. The consumers have revolted, rejecting Ford's EV offerings en masse. However, in a surprising turn of events, CEO Jim Farley has decided to prioritize what people truly love: affordable cars with traditional combustion engines while simultaneously shutting down production of their flagship EVs. But why are customers rejecting EVs so vehemently? What caused Ford, once a pioneer in electric innovation, to make this abrupt shift? And
The
how
Biden
is this
administration.
seismic shift affecting the industry giants, including Ford's arch-rival GM? Buckle up, because what you're about to discover is nothing short of revolutionary.
There you go. What do you think?
So
What do you think?
stop that audio. What was I gonna say? So with the with Ford Electric, like I said, if you want an electric vehicle, go ahead, go buy one. But I'm not trusting it.
Did you
Not,
see-
not in where we live, especially in the
cold
cold.
weather. Yeah. Did you see
Because
that
anything
video?
tells you,
You know what,
right?
bro?
You grab your cell phone, you go outside in the
Yeah.
frigid cold, like it's been yesterday and
Yes,
today.
yes.
You go out there, your phone could be at 80%,
Yeah.
and it'll shut down.
Yeah.
You already had me though. You didn't have to bring that up. You had me at the first thing you said, and that is the control.
Right.
I have a serious problem with someone else having control of my vehicle.
And there's cameras inside the
Cameras
vehicle.
everywhere.
Any
Cameras
control.
everywhere.
So they can activate that
For
camera
that one
anytime.
reason, I won't buy a Tesla. There are cameras everywhere around it, and then in the inside, as you're driving, it's pointing right at you, like
That's crazy.
constantly.
Every Tesla?
I heard.
Every Tesla.
I
Every
heard-
Tesla. Because
I
you know
heard
why?
Hertz,
It's part of the.
The safety.
Yes, Hertz is selling all their.
they're getting rid of them
They're
and
getting
going
rid of
back
all
to
of them.
combustion engines.
Yeah.
So what's the point of the cameras?
It monitors
safety
your
reasons?
face and
Oh.
it tells
If you
if
fall
you're tired.
asleep.
Like if
Oh.
you're tired,
Oh, is that right?
hey, put your eyes on the road. Like
We've
it
been driving for
really-
years.
Yeah, right. Seriously. You know, I will be honest with you. I'm a little on the other side of that only because I do a lot of driving. I average about 2,200 miles a month. That's how much driving I do. And I will tell you that I've never seen it as bad as it is now with people on the phone. Like
Oh, yeah, it's
everybody. Like at one point when it was illegal, like you'd see kind of people like doing one of
Right.
these, like they were hiding it.
Yeah.
Now, dude, people are literally
the
driving and they have it right up in the open. And
cool.
there's no like the state police. Nobody's talking about outlawing it or stopping it, and it's just come to the point where it's become normal.
Right.
Like nobody's afraid anymore.
Well, you got chances. You got like I think it's your first one, you get a warning. The second one is a $500 fee, and then it goes up, and then you eventually lose
my-
your license. But I see police doing the same thing.
Yes,
But
it's everybody.
My thing is why? Because cars nowadays, if you're buying a fairly newer car,
A new car.
Yeah.
if you text me, my car will read the text and it will ask me, do I want to reply?
Yeah.
And then and I can if I say yes, then it will ask me what I want to reply. I say it and then say send.
Police
My,
officer
my
told
hand's never been off the wheel.
No.
a police officer told me if you have something that connects to your car where the phone is
Yeah.
inside it,
Hands-free.
hands-free, you
Hands-free.
can use it. But if you're holding the phone, you're screwed.
Right, because you're supposed to have two hands on the wheel at all times.
Well, yeah, technically.
Wow. So and even today, like I was on my way here, and I'm behind someone, and you could
You could
always
see it.
tell, dude. You can always tell. And the worst part for me is not so much city driving. I get it. You got lights everywhere. It happens. It's when you're on the highway, dude.
I hate it.
And
They
you
veer.
want to do like, dude. You know, for me, I think 80 is the sweet spot for everybody. I think if we all in the high speed lane, if we all do 80, I think everybody would just go.
Right.
The problem is these people get in the high-speed lane and they do 55 miles an hour, dude, and they won't get the fuck out of the way. Dude, like, I'm not mad at you. Just get out of the way. Let me go by. Obviously, I want to go faster than you. You're in the passing lane. You're not passing anybody. Move the fuck over.
Well, they're watching their favorite show.
What's the fight, dude? What's the argument? Like, why won't people just move?
Your best bet is to go into the slow lane.
Fuck.
Because if you're going slow and you're looking at your phone, the chances are the cop ain't gonna look at you. The cop is either in the passing lane or the what's the middle lane called again? Travel lane. So chances are the cop very rarely travels in the slow lane and blows by everybody unless they're going to a scene or
if you want to
something.
go to travel and you want to do 55,
Right.
as long as I do it, I can get in a high speed and I can go.
You got 2 other lanes to go
Dude, there
around.
are a few things I bitch about out loud, and that's one of them, dude. Like, and I always say to myself, why you got to be an asshole?
Yeah, and then you pull up alongside them to go around them,
and
and
then
then you look over at them, and they don't even know you're there. They're still
they start speeding up.
I'm like, dude, what the frick?
Like, then they speed up, and then they slow down again, and you're like, what?
I do medical transportation for a living. It drives me nuts. And it must be like 1 out of 5 cops that are looking down.
Yes,
I'm like,
dude,
motherfucker.
Everybody.
If you can tell, you don't think a cop can tell when they get behind you?
Yeah, well, I think it's
I
more
can tell
stadies
when you
and
can
police
go-
on the highways because that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Especially
Like
at the
if
end of
I
the
can
month.
tell that you're looking at your phone.
Right. Well, you can
Well,
tell
these
how they
cops are
drive.
trained
They're
to look at that.
swerving, they're slowing, they're fast. It's like, fuck off.
Right,
Yeah.
and they can never find any like happy medium with it. There's no, and you'll fight, dude. Nobody gives a shit.
No.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
Nobody.
well,
I always tell my wife whenever we
yeah.
go out, I'm like, it's just us in these people's world. That's all it is.
Yeah.
We went to the mall last week and we're just walking, and these people are walking right towards us. We start going to the right, they go to the left. I say, okay, you want to go that? All right, I'll go this. And it's just like
they're purposely going out of their way.
what are you doing? I already moved. Why are you gonna move that way too?
Yep.
It's like, and then even when you go grocery shopping, I go grocery shopping with my wife.
Weird.
People will just go right into the middle lane, put their cart sideways, so now you can't
Block
go
everybody.
around.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting there looking at the.
You know what I do, Joe? I just ran right into them.
Oh no, I move it. They just look at me like,
Yeah.
no, I grab their carriage and I move it. And then
Yeah.
they look.
Oh, you don't own
Like,
that
what are
shit.
you
You didn't
gonna
pay
do?
for it
Yeah,
yet.
right. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
It's like I'm in your world. Like, come on,
It ain't
we're all in the same world here.
Right.
Like,
Those
get
are the
up.
Be
people that used to
considerate.
love the arrows because it was
Yes,
only
that's what I tell.
Well,
my
they
wife.
needed it.
I
Apparently.
tell my wife, I said, we need arrows.
I never
They
follow
need
those
direction.
arrows.
These people need.
Ever.
You never realize how much people need direction
Yes, man.
in this world
Yes.
until COVID.
so true.
COVID hit, and all these people were just so. Look at all these people running out, going to get toilet paper and cleaning supply. It's like, wait a minute, you never had cleaning supply in your house? What the hell is this
know.
shit coming off your shelves?
Right.
Like, what the?
I've had a bottle of like Lysol, whatever the fuck, for like months.
Yeah,
You know? I mean, spray a little bit here and there,
Right.
wipes,
right.
but it's there all the time.
But then you sit there and like these people are
are just
sheep.
weird.
They're sheep.
People are weird.
People are sheep. They
Yeah.
got to be told what to do. Blah, go this way. Blah, go that way.
But people work best that way, dude. It's when you leave
They
people
want
to their
control.
own devices.
Right.
Yes.
They want to be
It's like
told
being
in what
institutionalized.
direction to do.
When
They don't
you
want to
leave
make
people to their own
self-control.
devices, dude,
and make
they
their own
panic.
decisions.
They panic. You know, nobody could drive
too
down
bad.
the road without the white lines. So they'd be like, oh, I don't know which way to go. Like
Yeah.
They need the yellow and white lines to tell them exactly where to go.
Right.
They need the government to tell them, hey, listen,
No common sense.
it's cold outside. You watch the weather, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What do they do with the weather? Extreme.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Scare.
Disastrous.
Icy.
Critical.
Yeah.
Like they use all these buzzwords just to scare the hell out of you so you don't leave the house. Oh, I'm not leaving the house. Why? Dude, it's going to be extremely cold today. Right? And they're saying that the roads are treacherous.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want us outside for some reason.
Dude, they want you.
And they're blocking the sun, so what is it?
They want
So-
you programmed, bro. They want you behind the
Oh,
TV
the
set.
TV, yeah. Watch all that
They
bullshit.
do.
Yeah.
Dude, how many people, like, and I would say even to the audience, like, how many people are out there exercising? How many people are out there reading? How many people are out there
that's what I
actually trying to make a difference? Like I keep
Yeah,
saying it.
better
Dude,
themselves.
you could be selfish. You can lock yourself up in a room every day. Go to work, come home, lock yourself up in a room every day. What? But that's it. That's your existence. There's nothing more.
Yeah, right.
Listen, everybody has an agenda, right?
Yep.
Everybody in the world has an agenda. If I tell you, hey, Steve, this is that and that is this, you're going to believe what I said. You're not gonna go ahead and look it up yourself.
That's
and go,
it. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well,
so
if I'm like
that's
them.
what I do. Whenever I see something either on the internet or on TV, and somebody tells me, "Oh, this is what's going on," right? I'm going to look it up and see if it's facts. I'm going to start doing my own research.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go ahead and just follow because this person said A is B and this one says C is W. You know, like I'm not gonna follow that.
Right.
I'm a free thinker,
that's the problem,
but a lot of
too.
people
Yeah,
aren't
most
free
people are not.
thinkers.
They're not.
They'll go ahead, right? You'll go on. You see these press conferences with, what's her face there, the clown there.
Kareem.
Pierre,
Kareem,
Right.
Pierre.
They'll challenge her and say, "Hey, you know, hey, you got all these millions.
Sideshow Bob.
You got all these million migrants coming in. Well, there's not a million. You know, it's not a million. That's out of control.
Well,
that's a
missing 10
high
people
number.
from a million.
Maybe 900,000, but not a million. Well, what do you mean? There, you know, everybody and their mother is you see all these people crossing the border, and you're gonna sit here and shine shit and tell me that many people aren't crossing through,
Right.
And then you got all these other states that are New York, Massachusetts, all saying that, you know, this is we accept all that.
Do they
You know,
though?
This is a sanctuary
Until
city.
they go into their house.
This is a sanctuary city. This is a sanctuary state, right?
Yeah.
And then goes ahead, right? Oh, we're going to pour them all into Texas.
Yeah.
We're going to pour them all in, put them in
Wherever
Republican
they
states.
know
Right,
that.
but they
And then
they,
what happens
they say
is
purple states.
they go ahead
and they turn
and they take them and go, okay, you're a sanctuary state, you're a sanctuary city. We're going to ship you off there.
That's what they're doing.
Boom!
Yeah.
They ship them off,
Just
and
like
then
they
all of a
ship 'em
sudden,
to
But you know
all of a sudden, those mayors and governors are now freaking out
Right.
and going, "Oh, that's not right. That's inhumane. What
Right.
you're doing to these
Right.
people?
Right.
Why are you shipping
Just
them
that
up
happened
here?"
in what was it, Martha's Vineyard. They shipped it to Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
It was bugging
Yes,
out.
yes.
Right.
They didn't want it. They got them all out of there real quick.
Oh, they
They wanted
wanted
them
them
into
to
the
go
country.
They were
though.
there for 3
Yeah.
hours and came right back.
Yeah.
But you know what's even crazier than that? It's funny, Joe. You kind of walked us right into this one. I have something to share with you guys in regards to this. Check this out.
First, a whole high school in New York is having remote classes today because the building was needed to house people who came
this
into
right
this
here.
country illegally. So
bullshit,
what
too.
is the president's priority in this case? Is it the migrants or is it the students?
So let me just clear this up a little bit. So yesterday, New York City informed us that as a precaution, they would temporarily relocate migrants staying at Floyd Bennett Field to a nearby high school. As of this morning, all migrants have returned to the facility at Floyd Bennett Field, and so anything specific as to the program and what decided to do, and all of the specifics to that, I would certainly refer you to New York City for any additional questions.
But if a working parent had to call out to stay home with their kid today, isn't this Biden immigration policy literally taking money out of people's pockets?
So let me just say, I'm going to actually go back to your first question for a second because I think I do need to address that, which is, you know, when it comes to education, migrants, the economy, the president deals with multiple issues all at once. That is his job. There are multiple things happening all at once. And as it relates to this particular question that you're asking me about New York City, that is something that New York City needs the answers to. That is a process that they took, so they have to answer to that. And as it relates to migrants and what's happening at the border, look, the president has taken this issue very seriously by making sure that on his first day, which is almost 3 years, it'll be a couple weeks, it'll be 3
Shining
years ago
shit.
that he put forward a comprehensive immigration.
She's a good shiner.
We've been very clear.
Deal with what's
We've been very
happening
clear,
with
she
the
says.
immigration
Yeah.
process, obviously, and also the border. And this is an issue that's been going on for decades. The system has been broken.
You people have been going on for centuries.
I love how they say that. It's been broken for decades. Then be the ones to fix it.
Yeah.
Then be the ones to fix it. Don't be the ones to just pass it along. Like, that's the part that
It's
gets
crazy.
me.
These are the same people that wanted slavery.
Man.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Of course. They were proud of it.
I love her answer where, I defer you to go ask the governor of New York. Oh, all of a sudden the governor?
Right.
All of a sudden the states can go ahead and answer
Right.
questions?
Dude.
You are the
Dude.
highest.
Let's
And they're
take-
asking you that.
You are right on track, but just take a step back here real quick, and let's go back to the original point. They actually told students
To stay home.
to stay home and not go to school so that they
Remote
could
learning.
house migrants
Right,
Right.
into the school.
into the school.
Isn't that something?
So you're going to house, so my child
us
is going to go
Americans.
back to that school. Are you going to disinfect that
Right.
school? Because
Right.
I don't know what these
Right.
migrants
Right.
have.
Absolutely.
Are they bringing
course.
over all kinds
Dude,
of diseases and
Bed bugs,
viruses?
dude, just bed bugs. Just that alone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
What?
infestation. Measles, dude. These people aren't vaccinated. There's no vaccinations in Mexico.
I'm not saying that these
Do they have metal
migrants.
detectors? Because
No,
one of these
dude.
guys could be able to build a bomb.
None.
Put it in a fucking bathroom, kid go
I'm
to
not
school,
saying
boom.
all migrants are dirty.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
The virus, right? You can't vet them, so you can't
but,
go ahead and
dude,
see if they have any diseases.
To your argument,
or
I know where
anything
you're
like
at.
that.
And
So
that's
now
a
my
fair
kid,
statement.
kid's gonna go back to the school
Yeah.
2 days
Right.
later
Yeah.
after these people came out.
But understand where these people are coming from. They just came from Texas. They've been riding in a bus for what? 24 hours,
Crossing
30
rivers,
hours.
traveling.
Where are they showering? Where are they getting dressed? Where are they, where is all that happening? Where is hygiene taking place?
Right.
Nowhere. Because you just don't have the infrastructure. They put these people in fucking tents, dude. There's no infrastructure. They're laying on the
Well,
ground.
now they're going into like
I don't know what airport it was, but I saw a video. They had it blocked off with blue curtains, and like
Chicago O'Hara Airport.
Yeah, so and they looked in it. There was migrants in there, and the smell was astonishing.
Yeah.
Like what the hell?
Yep.
So now they're taking
I
up
feel
the
bad for
airport.
these people because you
It is
can't
messed up.
fault them for
Yeah.
coming here, right? Because if you live in a shitty situation and the greatest country on earth says,
accepting you.
"Come on in,
Yeah, I think that's happening.
we'll take care of you."
That's what I think.
Come on,
happening.
come.
Yeah.
So they're coming
Yes,
expecting
yes.
to
They're
be
expecting
taken care of.
$5,000. They're expecting a cell phone and a place to
Any
live.
place, but
I
with
believe.
and I don't blame them.
Yes. Yeah,
I'd
no,
be doing
I'm
the
with-
same
yeah,
thing.
I feel bad.
I believe
but-
that our government is absolutely looking for these people. I
Right.
believe that they're going
There's a
out
reason
there.
for it,
They're
yeah.
putting
Not
billboards
because they
up.
care.
And they're like,
Right.
hey, come to America.
Yeah.
Free insurance,
Yeah.
free health insurance,
It's an
all
agenda.
those things.
Yeah.
All those
Empty
things.
promises.
Not because they care either.
No.
I don't think they really care.
No.
No,
Dude, I'm telling you
of course
why.
they don't.
I told you why. I honestly believe that.
And all
I
these-
know the
and
whole
you
vote
look at-
thing.
You look at these now,
Yeah.
like if you look at the videos of these people videoing them, it's all middle-aged men.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They only
They're all-
talk about the women and
they're all
children
war-
when they
they're all
drown.
war age.
When they drown or something bad has happened,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only time. But all the videos that you see, these people crossing,
You know what?
it's all middle-aged
Have you
people.
These middle-aged men look like they're part of BRICS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BRICS. Brazil, was it Russia, India,
Oh, yeah.
China?
Yes.
That's what these
Yeah.
guys
I
look
was
like.
just talking to my wife about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, all these people crossing the border.
We don't know who they
They're
are.
they're all supposed to be coming from like Honduras,
Central
Mexico,
America.
and stuff like that.
Hey.
Get away from
Right.
cartels and
Why
shit.
is it Asians?
Well, might as well. They let everybody else in.
Well,
but
yeah,
it's
but
scary
I'm just
because
saying-
Yeah, the point is like to Joe's point, like they're coming from
Arabians,
like
all over the
typically
place.
It's the
area.
triangle, right?
Right.
That's-
So where are they coming from, and who's supporting them to come that way?
I watched this guy on YouTube. He asked him, "Where you from? Where you from?
Yeah,
How'd
yeah,
you
he
get
does
here?"
everybody. Does everybody?
Yeah.
Where you from and where you going?
Yep.
Right? Where you from and where you going?
And those-
And then Maura Healy's like, hey, listen, if you guys got some extra room in your place, maybe you can
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
You can
Oh,
house
is that the
some-
one? Is that the one? The
She
guy
won't
that
do it,
got?
though.
Is that the one that the guy asked him, "Who are you? And
Yeah, where you from? Where
Yes.
you
Oh,
going?
you
Yeah.
don't know who I am? You're going to know who I am. You
Yes,
see.
Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
What does he mean by that? And then the other
saw
one,
that
that
scared
they're-
as shit.
the other
Yeah.
one, did you see the other one that they're actually interviewing? He's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You said that we were gonna have this, and now we're living in the streets, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't have anywhere to go. Like,
We didn't ask for it.
pissed off
Yeah.
that almost like somebody told him, hey, come over
That's
here.
what I think.
And when you got here, like none of the
Right.
shit you promised.
That's
live
what
in
I
luxury?
think. Because
Right.
we've
What
always
they
had
do.
an immigration problem.
Yes.
Not to the extent it is now.
Yeah,
So
but dude,
somebody
do you see the? Do you see
is
the?
telling them.
Do you see the? It's wide open.
Yeah.
Remember we used to stop at the border and they come check your car and they do
Yeah.
the magnet thing?
Yeah.
That's wide open. Like people are flying by there like it's a toll booth.
The same spot?
The
Yeah.
same spot,
What
but there
the
is
fuck?
no traffic there
Well,
anymore.
there's got to be somebody there now that the government is.
If you have a chance,
No,
you can
that's only
actually
2.5
Google it. There's a
miles.
live cam that shows that to you,
Satellite, right?
and there's just cars, dude,
Yeah.
just flying. There's nobody on the border.
Oh, that's
They
great.
don't
We
have
got all
the
this
people.
fentanyl coming in
Dude,
right
they
now.
don't have the people.
Yeah.
So
I'm about
dude,
to go down there myself.
You got Iran. You got all this shit happening in Yemen. All this, and it's funny because I was on.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I've been on
All these
Twitter.
places.
Twitter's been like my new favorite thing. Honest to God, dude, like blowing up on
Yeah,
Twitter.
I
Yeah.
have a
At Bobby
Twitter.
at Bobby_Couto guys on Twitter. Go check it out. And being on that platform, like honestly, guys, out of all the social media platforms, I recommend it because you have the ability to see something and then research it. Like it's not just taking it for face value. Like
Right.
Instagram, it's just
That's
there.
what I'm saying,
Facebook, it's
yeah.
right there. Twitter, you can click on it, and when you click on it, all the comments in there,
Yeah.
they're at both sides of the argument. They're
Okay.
at both sides of the conversation.
Yeah.
Like even something that looks weird, like, oh, what was that? The other day, somebody posted something. It was in the ocean, and it was the sea line, and it almost looked like a
Oh,
floating
like the
city.
mud.
Oh, I seen that
Right?
shit.
And the guy's like, dude, what's this?
I thought it was a big cargo ship, but it wasn't.
Actually, they turned out it was a cargo
It was a cargo
ship.
ship?
It was a
Okay.
cargo ship. Because one guy's like, hey, I worked on cargo ship for all my life. He goes, that's a cargo ship.
Yeah.
He goes, the difference is there are it's already did a drop.
Okay.
So it already went into a dock. they took half the containers off and left the other half, and it's going to another guy.
Right.
He goes, they don't normally do that because they don't want to offset the weight of the tanker, but in some circumstances, if it's overpacked, that'll happen.
It looked like a city,
But
though.
yeah, dude. Now, if I didn't have that detail in there, I would have been like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?"
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's like a floating city out there.
Yeah.
So for me, I think really right now, Twitter is definitely, to me anyway, is probably the most accurate for information. Like I can make my own decisions.
Now, do you think? So you like Twitter now, right?
Yes.
Do you think because Elon Musk took control that it's better?
It's still being
for people like
monetized.
us?
Without question.
It's still being monetized.
It is,
Of
but
course.
without question.
Because
Because I was on Twitter pre-Musk, and it was to the point where I stopped using it.
Yeah.
Like it was absolutely
Like
impossible.
one-sided.
Like, dude, I could post something and no one would ever see it. Now I post something and there'll be 100 likes,
that's how it should be.
reposts.
That's how it
Like,
should be.
I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm alive out here. But they suppressed the conservative, common sense idealism so bad that there was nothing you could say to even get out there. So I did notice a difference. Although the CEO of X, Twitter,
Right.
is that chick from
Right.
the
And
World
she's still
Economic Forum.
and she's still knocking down some of it.
Yes. So I
So
get
why do you
very
think he
weary.
keeps her in there?
I have no idea.
So-
Dude, you know what, guys? And I've said this before on podcasts.
Because
like,
I honestly think he needs somebody in there that is qualified.
that is on your. That's
I like
like.
Musk, dude.
Because she knows
there's
her
just something
job.
about him,
But if he
dude.
could find somebody that's more qualified than her, I think he would.
Well, you can't get rid of all these people either.
Right, you
Like,
can't get rid of
discriminate
everybody.
because of their
Well, not only
beliefs or
that, but you
views,
just can't get rid of everybody because
right.
they know how. That's like you going into buying something that you know nothing about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're gonna keep the top dogs around because
Yeah,
they
'cause
know how
about
everything
it, right.
works.
Understandable.
Until you start to figure out how that actually works and how to get around these other people.
Yeah, makes
then
sense. Makes sense.
Oh, we have a comment here. Who is exactly seeing these migrants? I'm not sure.
that-
I'm not sure I understand the question, but I will tell you that it's real. It's obvious. And
well, you got video.
yeah, I mean,
You got
there's
some
no-
of these people that
yeah,
are the
there's no-
videos of showing them,
Yeah.
especially now with the whole thing going on
Yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah.
You see the National Guard tackling that. He thought he wasn't going to do nothing. He thought he was going to walk right by the National Guards,
Yeah.
and the National Guard said,
Hey, get
tackled
back
them
here.
and
Absolutely.
threw them back.
Absolutely, and that's the way it should be. I
Right.
think the big stink in all this came with I guess the woman and 2 children drowned. That's what happened.
But
And
that
so-
happened before.
Yes.
That was
Yes,
under.
but
that
that
was
was-
under the federal.
But that was
Border
their excuse.
Patrol.
That was their excuse.
Right.
That was their excuse. That's why the federal, they're like, oh, we want to get in there. Well, you're not going to get in there.
But even Texas Abbott
Yeah.
even came forward and said, well, what about, how could you be asking from, he goes, even if you want these people to come in as a president,
Yep.
how can you ask women and children to cross such a dangerous river
Yeah.
to come into this country?
It's inhuman.
Right.
It's
So you
fucked
can't
up.
talk about how this is inhumane, what we're doing, putting barbed wire
Yeah,
up.
stop them from
No,
even climbing the
that's-
water in the first place.
Right.
Right.
Shame on these
Oh,
people.
wait a minute. Hold on. You
Right.
got all these Hamas, Palestine protesters out in front of Washington, right?
Yeah.
They knocked
You
down
got
the fence.
Throwing
fences.
rocks.
They knocked
You
them
got
down.
build. You
They
got
knocked
all
them
of
down.
They
They
did.
knocked them down.
They didn't do shit.
They didn't do shit.
Right.
They didn't do shit.
But you could go ahead and put up walls.
Yes.
These people are
protect
destroying
yourself.
our country. They are.
And now
I
you got
mean,
Massachusetts
it's
asking
obvious.
people to take these migrants in if you got
Yeah.
extra rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mark my words,
Not
this
cool.
is what's going to happen. They're asking right now, and they're going to go ahead. This is the incentive. It's almost just like when you adopt a child, right? When you take in a child. They're going to pay you
Yeah.
to take in migrants. Guarantee you. Guarantee you they're going to pay you. And you're not going to see
We're still going to pay all
anybody.
this tax, or
You're not going to be able to get an apartment because some landlord is going to say, "Oh, you're going to pay."
you need
Ask you,
migrants.
why?
They're going to take them in. Any empty rooms, any empty apartments.
so he can get
guarantee
paid.
you they're going to get
So,
paid
yeah.
automatic from the
Man,
state.
you do it, landlords. If you do that, you guys are fucked up.
It's fair to
I
say.
guarantee you it's going to happen. They're going to pay people
Oh,
to
absolutely. It's
take
fair to
these
say
people
that,
in.
without question, there are people in this country right now that we should be afraid of, right? People that can carry out acts of terrorism.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Without-
absolutely.
we know that without question.
Oh, they're standing by right now. I know
Okay.
it. I feel it.
So with that said, why do you believe it hasn't happened yet? Why haven't we had
I don't think
the
it's-
September 11th? Why haven't we had? Why
because
haven't we had
they're
the?
waiting for the next president.
Election
Even though the
time.
Democrats don't want Trump in, they want Trump in because when all the shit hits the fan, you can blame him.
Well, they're still blaming him.
No, but I'm just saying they're going to blame him
Yeah,
again.
just like January 6th.
He already said, right? Did you see his last
It's beyond that now. Like, what the fuck?
at his last rally? He already said, mark my words, 100% there is going to be another catastrophe in America
Yeah.
coming.
So
He says that.
yeah. So
Well,
So
we
if he
feel it
knows
too,
that,
though, don't we?
if he knows that,
Yeah.
and he knows things
Well,
that we
quite
don't
honestly,
know
everything
because he
he's-
still knows people
pretty much
within.
And that's why he
things
stood
that
up.
said is true. I mean, all of these indictments from these people that are literally less than honorable, right? You got this one
absolutely.
indictment. I think is this the one? Is it Louisiana? She's
Was it Georgia? Atlanta.
Georgia, Atlanta, the one that the boyfriend, it's her boyfriend. She's
Louisiana?
the attorney general she hired. The attorney is the guy she's banging, and yeah. So and they're going on vacation together.
It wasn't so Georgia was the one before. Maybe it's something new.
There's two. Well,
Okay.
obviously there's the New York one. The New York one, which is completely frivolous. Mr. Wonderful was talking
There was
about
one
it the
in
other day. And he's
Atlanta,
like,
Georgia, I know
if
that.
you prosecute Trump on evaluation of his properties, then you need to arrest every single real estate investor in the country. This is because anybody who's in the real estate investment business is always going to want to get the most value for what they own. Like, my Lamborghini is worth more to me than it is to you because I own it. It's mine. Like I have more. So with that said, it's every single business he goes in. What I don't understand is that there was no law broken. He took out a loan. He paid the bank in most cases before the end note date. And so where's the problem? Like where's the And so like things like that are frivolous.
A joke.
And then this other one, I want to say it's Georgia, dude. I think you're absolutely right. Where this I had a clip.
Atlanta.
Is actually she's.
It was a black woman, right?
Yeah, she's a black woman.
It was
Yeah.
Atlanta.
And she's having like relations with this guy,
Yeah.
and they're taking all millions, dude. It's millions
And
of
this was
dollars.
during they had a meeting for the Republicans, right?
The RNC. Yep. So this is some of the stuff that's happening. It's like, truly and honestly, it's this. I struggle with this because you know what it is, dude. It's imagine something so bad that there's nothing you can do to fix it. Right? Like if you got a small hole in your roof, you're like, oh, I can patch that.
Yeah.
But if the whole fucking roof is gone,
Caves in, yeah.
like you're like, I can't fix that.
Right.
Like there's nothing I can do about that. And that's honestly what I believe our government is right now.
Yeah.
I believe it's
Beyond
right, dude.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I feel the same way.
You know, and I have friends that I'll say this to, and they're like, dude, you're talking shit. Don't talk like that. Dude, but honestly, are we at a point where you literally need to dismantle? Like, I don't want to talk all politics the whole show, but is it a point now where I'm asking you guys, is it dismantle it? Is it start from scratch? Is it, because, dude, Trump's only in for 4 years, guys. So, look, Trump will be done,
Okay,
and then
after
who's
that.
next?
8 years.
Right?
What do you feel
8
about
years.
that guy Vivek?
What's that?
Vivek.
He gets 8 years.
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he already got 4.
Well, yeah.
No, his 4 because they impeached him.
So what? Is that in
Yeah,
the
but-
Constitution?
Yes. They legally impeached him, so his first 4 years
Yeah, I think
wasn't.
they'll fight that. I think they'll
Yeah, I don't
It
think
doesn't
that's-
matter.
Because
It's in the,
technically-
it's
But
in
it's
the
possible.
Technically,
Constitution.
did they impeach him though? Technically, because
They didn't impeach him out of office, but technically he was impeached.
Right.
So he can come back for another 8 terms.
So
for
I'm
8
glad you
years.
brought that up because a couple of things I wanted to bring up. One, I mentioned earlier. 2 is, so back to the original question. If it's broken, why don't they fix it? So you obviously see that you have
Because you got both parties involved. Everybody's crooked in the government. I wouldn't say everybody, but probably about 85 to 90% of them
because the
are all
Democrats
crooked.
are
And
telling
if you
saying it's the
blow it all,
Republicans.
if you just blow it all
Right?
out and say everybody's gone
Yep.
and start fresh, I don't think you could. I don't
No,
think you
see,
can.
I don't think it's that. I don't mean to cut you off, buddy.
No,
I
you're
don't
good,
think
you're
it's
good.
that. Just don't misunderstand what I'm saying. When I say abolish the government, I say the fundamental government. In other words, you are no longer, as a senator, as a congressman, as a mayor, you are no longer allowed to take money from companies that lobby you. Like there is from now on, right? You know what? If 200, look, say for example, I think a senator makes what, like 180,000 a year. I think.
Probably
Is
like
it that? Yeah.
20,
I
200
think
grand.
it's
Okay,
about that.
so
Yeah.
like give him a salary, give him a legitimate salary, but you are no longer allowed to take money from
You can't do stocks
from
either,
anybody.
right?
Like
You
Coca-Cola,
can't
you
invest-
can't start. No, you can't. You can't do any of
family
that.
members
You
either.
can't do any of that,
Because it's just like sports.
dude.
That's
Just
why
like
what's your face,
sports,
Nancy
right?
Pelosi got in trouble.
Absolutely.
Who's the player that got
Pete
banned
Rose.
for a year?
Pete Rose.
Well, Pete Rose did, but the NFL player when he bet on himself.
Oh, what the hell was his name? I'm not going to think of it. I know
But
you're
you
talking
can't bet on yourself.
receiver?
Right.
You can't bet on yourself,
Right.
and
So-
you're because you're invested in there.
Right. So, but you know what?
And
my
you
point
know,
is-
and you know what's going to happen
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you got inside information.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's and you go ahead. Nancy Pelosi, the greatest one ever.
Yeah.
She's got inside information. She
Right.
goes ahead. Her husband goes and
Right.
sells stock week before. All of a sudden, the stock goes down. He goes in, buys another stock that's worth, $3 a
Because they
a
know.
share,
Because
and he
they
goes
know.
in and
That's
buys
why we
it.
have a new
All of a
house
sudden,
speaker.
it's
But if she didn't get in trouble,
$100,000.
she'd probably still be in there.
But she's still doing it, though, dude.
Oh, of
She
course.
still has the influence.
Might as
Right.
well.
Dude,
She's
how
already.
do you go in?
But you can't prove it.
I don't care who you are. Even the most noble, caring human being goes in and says, I'm going to be the best senator I can be. And then all of a sudden, they're like, hey, man, hey, that's for you.
Right.
Hey, man, that's for you. At some point, dude, you're like, well, everybody else is doing it.
Nobody can see it.
Like, what the hell? Like,
You
why?
want, you want a perfect
Right?
example? Your school system,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Half of these teachers don't even know what's in the library, and when parents go
Yeah.
to these parent-teacher
fucked up books in
conferences,
there.
they start reading it and go, "Sir, you're using foul language." Well, this is in your
Yeah.
library.
I
You
do-
don't
yeah.
know it.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Right.
teachers' unions are
Right. Right.
right in their pocket. Somebody's
You know what,
paying
that's
them
like
to
this
go
whole thing,
ahead
too.
and teach these kids
In
these
Newton
crowds.
Wellesley,
This
Newton
is
Wellesley,
happening.
Newton Wellesley, Massachusetts. It's rich. It's a rich community. You ever been to Newton?
Newton? My father lived there.
Okay, it's a rich community.
Yeah, it's the number one in mental health.
Right. It's right.
According to CDC.
And they got a lot of money over there. And they're on strike. The teachers are on strike. And the problem is like I say to myself, okay, first of all, I think the teachers union is probably the worst organization on the fucking planet, hands down, like without question, because they don't care about the kids.
They really don't.
I say, as a teacher, you can strike, but you don't, not one day out of school. What you do is you say, your representative, your shop steward says, hey, listen, union, tell them we're not happy. And as of today's date, we are considering ourselves on strike. And until you guys ratify, you're going to have to retro pay us from this date.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you leave, you go get a fucking paper sign, and you stand out in the street, and these kids don't have any schooling. Like, it's not the kids'
It's not
fault.
their fault.
But
right?
yeah, but you know what's going to happen is the states and everything
They
else.
have to pay.
They're
No
not.
matter what, no
they'll
matter
never.
what.
They'll never come up with a
Yeah,
contract.
but they
with the
have to
state
though,
will.
because no matter what,
They
at some
should.
point, the longer you wait, the more retro you're gonna have to pay me. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
it's a good idea.
Because when you ratify,
It is a good idea,
That's
but
what I'm saying. You're gonna go
who's to
back
say
to
they
that date that you announced.
Right. Who's to
that-
say that they sign a contract and just keep working under their consistent?
Yeah,
Their,
but dude,
their
at some
existing
point, dude,
contract?
10 years later, you owe me $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ridiculous.
right.
Like, you can't.
But they'll never
And
ratify.
it has to be, dude. It has to be. You know what, dude?
'Cause you're still
Good
going to work
faith-
and they're still
good
making
faith
their-
negotiating, bro. Good faith in saying, you know
There's
what?
no good faith
we
in
care
there.
about
There
our
is no-
teachers.
Go beyond
To
that
me,
now.
dude, I think teachers should be paid. I think teachers should be the highest paid industry
Well, they're
out
raising
there.
the future. They should.
Right. Right.
Like, if you're teaching my kid, I want you to be a better human than I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's the bottom line.
They are the next
Right?
parent.
If you're my doctor, like, you better be smarter than me. Like, if I know more than you and you're my doctor,
Right,
that's
yeah.
a fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with our teachers.
Yeah.
Why don't we demand that? That
Because so the education system is made for us to be slaves
dude, it's
into the system.
indoctrination. You're absolutely right, dude.
It's not teaching. Yeah,
It's not.
indoctrination.
What are they
Yeah.
programming our kids to do?
To be workers.
Right? To
Now they're programmed to
Right?
live off the government.
study, take a test to make sure what you retain, not what you
Listen,
learn.
my daughter's in 5th grade. The teachers had the students. They asked the students, "Would you be okay with digital currency?" Some of these
Yeah,
kids
here
didn't
we
know
go.
what the hell that was.
This is our future.
What's
we're
digital
talking about.
currency? Well, you got paper money, and then you got this monopoly money, the fake money that's in your bank that could be wiped out at any second.
Well, then these kids need to go home and bring it up so we can tell them. Do you ever heard of the mark of the beast?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why
So,
we're being
but at
attacked.
5th grade, they're asking these kids, and these kids don't know.
No,
We
they
are being
don't. They have
attacked.
no
What's a
Listen.
digital currency?
No idea. No idea.
If they hear it, they're gonna be, oh, my teacher said, so it must be good.
Right.
But that's just it, though. That's what they're hearing. They're hearing
But they,
it.
they, they, planted,
digital currency is good.
they planted that seed in their
Yes,
heads.
yes,
So
yes.
now when they get older
Yes.
and they start learning about digital currency,
yes.
that seed's already there and it's already starting to grow. And now they're like, oh, yes, digital currency
That's
is
the
great.
problem, bro.
I fucking hate it. I ask my kids, what'd you learn in school today? Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. Oh, I want to know what you learned. Oh, it's nothing. I want to fucking know because that's what they're doing in our kids' schools.
Right. Well, in to your point, if you want to know, you'd have to move down to Florida because DeSantis signed that law where they have to let the parents know exactly
I don't
what
go to PTO
curriculum
meetings and shit.
what curriculum they're teaching the kids.
Yeah, they should. before the school.
They should do
before
that
the-
everywhere.
Before the year starts.
Yeah, that's in my opinion.
I agree.
I want to know what my kids are learning.
Of course.
And everything's on a computer now.
Right.
Like my son.
Oh, yeah,
His whole everything is on computer. Remember when we were going to school? We come back. We got our backpacks.
All your books,
that are
too. You had to
40-pound
lug all the books,
backpacks.
yeah.
You lug
There
it,
was
you
no
put it in
Chromebook.
the- And
There
you're
was no
sitting there,
Chromebook.
you're writing everything down.
right.
Now everything is right there, and you got your paper sheets and stuff. Nothing's paper anymore. It's all on computer.
Digital,
Hit
yeah.
send. Boom.
Yeah.
That's how it is with my son's homework and stuff and all his work.
Yeah, I just think that, honestly.
Very rarely does he have anything that he has to write out.
I think the lack of detail. That's really the word. I think the lack of detail in the way we're raising our kids has a lot to do with it.
Oh, lazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's lazy.
It's lazy.
I think it's easy.
And I think teachers should stick to teaching the curriculum and not giving out their opinion.
Yeah, that's completely acceptable. Like, there's no rainbow flags. There's no none of that. There's one flag in the
I don't
classroom.
care what your opinion
it's an American flag. Nope.
Just teach the curriculum.
That's absolutely.
I really think it's hard.
You know
Stick
what?
to it.
I want
Keep
for
your
my teachers the
personal-
same thing I want for my politician. Be a politician. Be the speaker. Be my voice.
Yeah, help
right?
us. Yeah,
right.
like-
Don't be the teacher of some morality that's in your wheelhouse and not the common collective. You know what I
Do
mean?
what's best for the children.
Right?
Like, what the fuck?
Well, we want our kids to go to school because we want that experience, right? Everybody can homeschool a kid, and this is not knocking anybody who homeschools, but
If I could afford it.
if you want to,
It's not that expensive to do it.
Yeah.
Because we were looking
Yeah, but
into
what about
it
the experience,
because of
bro?
COVID.
Don't have to be home to
Like
do it.
COVID. Well, yeah.
How's the
I
bills
mean,
gonna get paid?
But what happens is so the state will give you, so you have to present the state how you're going to teach your child in each subject, right? And then they go ahead and say, okay, go ahead and do it that way. And then they go
so
ahead and
they have to-
they take tests either weekly or monthly, and then you submit it, and that's how they pass. But most of the time, when you're homeschooled, all my friends that I've known that did homeschooling, their kids were done by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon with the curriculum.
Yeah.
So they were out and about before the kids even they were getting a better education.
I bet
Some
they
of
were.
the parents are saying my kid is now getting better grades being homeschooled than he was doing in school.
Right.
Because he was around his friends, wasn't paying attention, because there's a lot more distraction going on.
Right.
Yeah, well, you're only there 45 minutes, bing, 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 like now you're going to another room, you restart, and then rather than having the environment where you're catering to the individual. But me honestly, bro, I just think it's gotten to a point where we have to go back and realize that our children are literally our future, and I believe that our government knows this better than we do.
And they're manipulating them right now.
Right.
Because they're like, all those kids, dude, all those kids that were behind the computer, COVID, they're in the workforce.
Oh yeah.
They're in the workforce.
Yeah.
Right?
We went to I'll give you an example. My nephew slept over one day, and I brought my son and his cousin to McDonald's. We walk into McDonald's, and I'm talking to this person, the cashier, and I'm like, all right, we want this, and that. And the whole time, like this. Never looked at me once. And then she got stuck. She must have been new. She gets stuck, and she walks over to her supervisor or whatever like a robot. I swear to God.
Yeah.
She's walking, hands down by her side.
Yeah.
Just
Interesting.
walking, and then comes over, soft-spoken, talking to her, and then she's trying to teach her, and she's like, okay.
No.
Okay. Your total is $38.75.
Do you think she was human, Joe?
No, but I'm just saying that's
I
the
see
way it
robots at
was.
the
It was like
Like almost odd, right? It was like
even when I
odd,
go-
right? It was
It wasn't
odd.
even when I
natural
go
or
out,
normal.
even
Yeah.
when I go out in my workforce, the way with the public and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I talk to them.
Like that-
There's no eye contact with the younger generation.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Right.
There is no eye contact.
No.
Why do you think that
It's
is,
all
though?
look away
Yep.
and look down.
Yep.
It's anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah. They don't know how to
That's
deal with people.
that's an anxiety.
They're
They
too
don't
busy
know
in
how
their
to
phones.
because they're not socializing because they're sitting this. This is how they socialize.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Or they're on their headset with their friends, and there's no physical attraction.
There's no
There's
connection.
There's no
Yeah.
people right there in front of them.
Yep.
Because you always were taught when you were growing up,
Yep.
if
We
you
ate
talk
at the
to
table
somebody, you
together.
look at them in their eye.
Yeah, that's respect.
Right. You
That's
look
how it
at them
should
in
be,
their
yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Look at them. So that way, that person also knows that you're giving them
You're paying
your
attention.
full attention.
Right.
You're
it's respect.
right.
like,
It's not
It's
like
real.
that anymore.
no, it's not. Usually, like when I'm talking to them and they look to the left or they look down to me, they're lying
Right.
or they're not genuine or
Right.
authentic.
Right. They don't care about the
Or
conversation.
they don't care.
They're not owning
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Right.
they're not owning
They're
it.
not. They're not retaining what you're saying.
Yes.
They don't comprehendo.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's too bad.
And you know, with that, just kind of shifting a little bit. So did you hear about this in Florida?
Which one? When?
Hillsborough, Florida. 123 people arrested.
What?
Yeah, check this out. This is
No.
gonna. Yeah, it's gonna blow your mind. Check
Oh,
this
my
out.
kids ain't over there.
Over the last 90 days, we arrested 123 individuals
Damn.
who were charged with human trafficking or trafficking-related charges. These 123 arrests transcend mere statistics. They represent our commitment to protect the innocent and our resolute efforts to safeguard the most vulnerable members of our community, serving as a call to action to raise awareness and stand united against the pervasive scourge that is human trafficking. Over the past 90
Human
days,
trafficking.
under the moniker of Operation Renewed Hope, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office's Human Trafficking Squad conducted a number of investigative initiatives to combat
Now,
the
is this
insidious
the same
crime
guy that
of human
mentioned about
trafficking.
that,
We targeted this
civilians should
crime
carry
through a
guns and
multi-pronged
they should get
approach
No.
by conducting
There was a guy in
undercover
Florida.
streetwalker
That was
the
hotel
old- that was
and
an older
motel
sheriff.
That was an older
operations,
guy.
Okay.
along with online chats where our undercover investigators posed as minors available for sex, as well as
ridiculous.
guardians selling children for sex. Our human trafficking efforts are constant, but as we approach the holiday season where children are out of school and spending much more time online, I wanted to ensure that our children would be protected, and those wanting to pay for sex and fuel the sex trade were not getting a free pass
sick.
because of the holidays.
See, this is why they want to ban TikTok, because that's how I get a lot of my fucking news.
TikTok. Without it,
I mentioned to a woman the other
dude,
day.
it's the only reason why they want to ban it.
Yeah.
It's the only reason why.
So the whole alien thing in North Miami, whatever, Bayside Mall, whatever the fuck, right? Did you hear about that?
It's a 10-foot.
I would have never
Yeah,
known
yeah,
unless I had TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to a woman. He was like, "You got TikTok?" No, I don't have TikTok. You heard about the fucking 10-foot aliens?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That supposedly happened in some other state. Where
Vegas.
Everybody-
Yeah, the Vegas where he was hiding behind
Yeah.
the.
So I happen to
the
know
backup.
somebody who lives in Miami.
Yeah.
And who happens to be a police officer. And she confirmed for me that it was a bunch of teenagers that went into the mall and they were lighting fireworks in the mall. And people thought it was guns going off.
Terrorist attack
Like they
or
were
something.
lighting fireworks
Okay.
throughout the
See?
whole mall.
Strategically.
That
And
makes
she
more
said
sense.
that they actually have, what do you call that? Like code? The code?
Yeah.
Where they actually, all police in
Right.
all
counties.
Like a 911
they
code.
all exactly
Yeah.
they all respond,
All
and that's
hands.
exactly what happened.
Because they thought it was going to multiple mass.
See,
Yeah,
that would
the
make a lot more sense.
The whole thing about aliens
Because
was
people
completely
record
fabricated.
everything.
Right.
People record
But
everything.
but there you go. Like
We would have seen it.
to what you just said, like I was saying before, is that you saw it,
This coffee's good, bro.
you saw it, and that's what you believed.
Well,
That
no.
there was a 10-foot. There was a
I
10-foot
didn't believe
alien.
it. I didn't believe it because I didn't see enough facts. I didn't
Well,
see,
but quite frankly, dude, it's almost like we should believe it because that's all they talk about every day is something about aliens.
Oh, well, aliens is fine.
all right, so what's that project?
Remember
Blue
before-
Beam Project.
Remember 20
Blue
years
Beam.
ago,
Yeah.
everybody's scared. Oh, there's aliens. Now they confirm that there is other life forms somewhere else or
Yeah.
whatever.
They found that spaceship, that shell, whatever that
right.
was.
They found
Yeah,
an actual spaceship.
I found a shell at the beach.
Right.
I mean, what
So
Do you
now they
believe it?
confirm. Nobody cares.
Do you believe it?
Do I believe?
Yeah. Do you believe it is aliens?
I
don't
believe.
know.
I
I don't
believe.
know what to
I
believe.
I believe more in demons than aliens.
I struggle. I have a tough time believing that if there was aliens, that we wouldn't have. There's 330, well, now 350 million people in the United States alone. Never mind Brazil, because shit always happens in Brazil.
Shit.
You wouldn't think that at some point we would have some type of evidence. Every video is foggy, out of focus,
Right.
far away.
Especially nowadays.
Like really, you know what I mean? Like
Just like the Bigfoot videos. Oh, I saw
Right,
Bigfoot.
right.
And then it's all grainy
Right,
and
and
everything.
so-
like, come on.
and
Did you
even
see
like
the History Channel footage of Bigfoot in the cage? It was on History Channel, and apparently it was the real Bigfoot on History Channel.
right, right.
Like, why are you fucking with the people?
Yeah, and even like if it's in the sky, dude. At this point, honestly,
something to talk
dude,
about.
you have to believe that our government has technology.
Bobby.
Right?
Yeah.
When I was 18, I was with cousin Tommy and my stepbrother
out
Brett.
in
I seen
Brent's?
something in the sky. It was a red orb with a flash, and it moved like this. It went like diagonal, like serpentine. Boom, 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 and it came at us and then took off.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a drone, because at that time there was no drones.
Yeah.
Right.
But I really feel that there's technology that have been here for a long time, and they're gradually having us get into it.
Dude, I think a lot of like Tesla, for example.
Nicholas Tesla?
Yeah.
The man Tesla himself.
Nikolai Tesla, like he created, like he said, energy is all around us.
Yeah.
So
Our energy.
right? If you have the ability, dude, and I don't put it past our government, like if you have the ability to give free energy, and you're in the middle of the industrial revolution, right? Right?
That's what
Oil,
you're getting at.
right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you take that information and be like, we're not gonna give this shit away for free?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Dude, the only reason the polio vaccine was free was because the guy who created it decided he wanted to give it away.
Yeah.
How many other vaccines, including COVID, were not a donation from its creator?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So here's a perfect example of that. Like, why would they otherwise?
So you guys heard of Tesla when he passed away, right? Donald Trump was a great-grandfather, worked with Nicholas Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Nicholas Tesla was working on a time machine. They say Trump, his father, a great-grandfather, whatever the fuck, took the information. And they say Trump's
A time traveler. I've seen that too.
But there's a book. There's a book
Yeah.
written in 1890,
Yeah,
and the
Trump
book's
something.
called Baron Trump.
Yeah.
Or there's a character
Yeah,
called
Baron
Baron
Trump.
That's his son's name.
Baron. Yeah.
So, it's like, is this real? Like, what's
Yeah. But that's
Makes you
that's
think.
that flood of information, bro. You're like, wow, is it
Yeah, like,
possible?
this
Could
is
this
way
really,
too much right
could
now.
this really happen? But in all
But
in
I have
all,
an
dude,
open mind, so I try to look at the facts.
You
Dude,
get the-
you can't have a closed mind and have
Yeah.
a conversation.
Right,
Like,
no,
it's just
not
not
at all.
going to happen.
Oh, that's why me and Joe would be here. Right?
Yeah, bro. And you know what? I think honestly, like kind of getting we're already an hour and 22 minutes in, realizing that your feelings don't matter.
Damn.
Like your feelings matter to you,
Yeah.
and nobody else.
Yeah.
The problem
why they
is
say everybody says,
people
"Fuck your
want-
feelings."
I want you to, like I'm upset, and I want you to care that I'm upset.
Yeah. Right.
And the truth of the matter is, it's not your obligation. Like we all need to be responsible for the way we feel and the way that we
Well,
act.
I mean, like I'm an empath. Like, I try to understand somebody and,
Yeah.
and be there for them if I give advice. But
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
in all, all in all, I gotta worry about
Dude, you know what?
Stevie.
I could say this without question. The three of us in this room, if we were to walk out that door right now, get in our cars individually and drive down the road and see fire coming out of a burning building.
Oh, we running that bitch.
Any one of
Yep.
us is going to stop that car,
Yep.
go that thing and park and run in that building and try to...
Absolutely.
You don't care who's in that building. You
Yeah.
don't care what color they are. You don't care where they came from. None of that matters.
and that's why I love you
Right,
guys.
and that's right. Seriously, but that's the argument, bro. That's the argument because I'm willing to die for you.
Yeah.
But by the same token, don't crucify me because I don't want to pander to your fucking feelings. Like I don't.
Right.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But we got your back.
Right? What? Listen, you know what I'm still waiting for? Because I must have missed a line, dude. White privilege. Where's the line for that?
That's just like it.
Where is it?
That's just like
Disgusting.
anything. Like if you saw, whether it's an old person, a black person, a transgender, a gay person,
A human.
any human being being jumped, beaten, or anything like that, you're gonna go in there
Of
and help
course,
that
dude.
person.
Of course,
Absolutely.
dude.
What's right is right.
Still a
what's wrong
human
is wrong.
life.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's still a
Right.
life.
Right.
Whether you and that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't. A lot of the, I want to say, leftist, extreme, LGBTQ, alphabet people. I think they all think that we do not care for them, or we hate them, or we want them to die, and bad things happen. I don't want none of that to happen to anybody.
No.
Because at the same token, if I'm walking down the street and somebody's beating you up, and you go there and help them, and you comes to find out that they're beating you up because you're specific, they don't like who you are.
Yes. Yes.
I'm still helping you out, even
Right.
though I don't
Right.
agree with your
Right.
views
Right.
or anything like that. I'm still helping you.
Do you know who
'Cause
doesn't?
you're a human
do you know
being.
who doesn't want to help? Is the Al Sharptons of the world, the Jesse Jacksons of the world,
No.
because they want those events to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They
don't
want
want
the
more-
Trayvon
Right.
Martin. Right? We forgot. Remember
That's how they
Trayvon?
benefit
right?
from it.
We want
Yeah.
that because
And
when
I think
those
of everybody, sorry not to cut you off,
No.
but I think everybody feels the same way. And you know how I know that? Because when 9/11 happened,
Yep. Yeah. We
The
do-
silent
everybody
majority
was
nobody
does,
cared
though, the
about
silent majority.
your religious beliefs, your
Yep.
color of your
Yep.
skin, if you were gay, straight, it didn't matter.
You know what?
Everybody joined together. And I think we all can do that still.
You know what bothers me, Joe?
But we need a common enemy.
Bobby?
Right, but the common enemy is, we all know who the common enemy is.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't want to.
You know what bothers me is all
them.
these migrants that come in this country, right? They're making it look like we don't care about them. You know, that we're not compassionate about human life, which we are. We just want it done the right way.
Right.
We want it done the way our families came into America.
Because you can't bring
and
in.
we're paying for it.
You can't bring in all these people unvetted. You
Millions.
don't know what kind of diseases they're bringing over.
We don't know who they are.
What kind of any viruses.
Especially COVID,
you don't
bro.
know what kind
Right.
of background.
So how you pushing a vaccine and then you?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You people are
you
just
don't know
stupid.
their background.
COVID's
You don't know if
coming.
they just hate Americans.
Yes.
You don't know who's coming
Right.
in.
Right.
Bricks.
I agree.
Right.
I think we talked before we went on the air.
And it's funny because we're sending
And
our
it's-
troops over there.
And it's, if you lived in that country
Mm-hmm.
and they came over and somebody said, come to our country, we will take care of you.
Yeah.
Are you or are you not going to make that trip?
Well, yeah, if their life's
You're going
shitty,
to travel hundreds and hundreds
Especially
of
if my
miles.
life sucks, dude.
Over-
Right.
Why
wouldn't
Cartels
I?
Right.
killing them, their families.
Right.
Right. You're going to. And I don't blame them. I really don't.
No, I don't either.
I don't. And
Well, our families came
I
here,
just
but we
feel
came here
bad for them
illegally.
because they're being used as political pawns.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what
it's true.
they're doing is they're using them as political pawns, and it's not fair.
They're destroying
to
the
these
country
poor
in the same
people.
process, though.
Yes.
They're
Right.
stupid. These people are stupid.
Quick
Right.
question. Speaking of stupid, why is it shifting a little bit? Why is it that at the Republican primaries they're asking people to write in Joe Biden? Why is that? It's a Republican primary. Explain that to me. Any idea?
Right in Joe
Yeah,
Biden as
yeah.
what? An idiot?
Yeah. Like I don't understand that. Why would they do that?
To see who's a
Take it-
traitor?
Yeah. Like writing his name right in. It's she actually in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Right in Joe Biden. Like there's actually a campaign. They're holding signs, and it looks like chalk.
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Maybe they
right
wanna
in,
see
it says
who-
right in Joe Biden.
Maybe they
Why?
want to see who knows cursive.
Well, they trying to take him off the ballot too?
Like why would you do that?
I don't know.
No, it's
That's a
right.
good question.
It's the Democrats saying that to write in Joe
The
Biden's name.
Republicans are saying to write Joe Biden.
Nope.
Oh.
The Democrats
Oh,
are saying to write in Joe Biden
Right in where?
at the Republican.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying.
primary.
The Republicans said that.
No, at the primary.
The
He's
Democrats
saying
said that at the
primary.
RNC.
Nope. Right now, the Republican primary is happening in New Hampshire.
Right.
Yeah.
That I see. I know.
They're
You got
telling
Nikki
Democrats
Haley and all
to
them
show
up there.
up
To show up
and write in Joe Biden's
Oh. Oh, well,
Oh,
because
instead of voting for the primary candidate, you
Yes.
want to win and take over.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I see what
I
you're
get
saying.
it now.
How does that make
Why
any
do-
sense?
Why are they? I don't.
Why would you do that?
Because they're assholes.
Because if you can get rid of because if you can get rid of the competition, then you
What is the
automatically
competition,
win
though?
The
by
American
default.
people.
It doesn't matter.
The American people.
Anybody
win the
against
Yeah,
them.
we absolutely are.
Any
Yeah.
Republican that runs against them, that's what they're trying to do is take them off the ballot.
Hey,
right
when you
now they
guys-
know Trump is going to win. If Trump's on that ballot, they know Trump's going to win. Doesn't matter who they have, if Joe Biden's rerunning or not, because they know the American people are fed up.
Oh,
the way the shit's
We're
going
just
right
growing.
now, and it's anybody but Joe Biden right now.
Anybody in that
Any-
party right
and
now.
I think they would rather have the mean tweets back
Yes.
than have this
So
Joker.
they've
and
put
I'll take
in,
the money.
They put in quite a bit of effort in keeping Donald Trump out of office, and they're continuing to exhaust a lot of effort to do
Well,
that.
they're losing the battle.
So that's my point.
Yeah.
So with that said, all this for nothing? Stop and think about this for a second. All this for what? For November to come and for them to not do anything with it? For Trump to just win?
I know what you mean.
And all of this is for nothing?
Yeah. No,
Like, so
they're
let me
not gonna-
ask you guys, well, people that have everything to lose, bro,
Yeah.
what are they willing to do?
anything and everything.
Anything and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring
You're
in
gonna have another
informants
pandemic?
into our country
Yep.
who are fucking militant.
Yes.
Right.
We see it every day on fucking on the videos.
No president has ever
I don't even
lost
think
a
Joe Biden's real,
re-election
honestly.
under when they were at war.
Hey, what do you
If
guys
you
think
had a
about
war-
Vivek? You think he's like a
Vivek Ramaswamy, I will be honest with you, bro. I got
He speaks
Obama
well.
vibes. I got Obama
Yeah,
vibes.
Obama
from him. I
vibes?
think he'll
Yeah.
be part of the Trump
He says-
administration. I
yeah.
think he'll probably be he'd be a great press secretary.
I think he's going to
He's
be.
really
he's
good.
going to be
Yeah.
a VP. I
definitely
think.
he'll be.
But I hope he's
actually. You know
authentic.
what? I was going to ask you guys.
Don't even
like,
say
on,
Nikki Haley.
On the end of this, I was
Yeah.
going to ask you guys who you thought the vice president. For me, I say Ben Carson. I'm going
Ben
on the record and
Carson,
saying it's
yeah,
going to
that's
be
a
Ben.
good one.
Ben Carson
I like
will be.
that.
I believe that's who it's going to be. Who do you think?
Yeah, well, they said
I think it's going to be
he kind of brought up. They said there was a surprise of who's going to be VP.
Yeah.
And Ben Carson, I didn't think of that one.
To me, I see Ben Carson.
I think
if not Ben Carson. What's her name there from South Dakota? Mao, meow, 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 meow.
I know who you're talking about, but she's pretty good. No, Marjorie. Marjorie Green.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Taylor Greene. Yes.
And so it was funny. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and we were talking about what's her face? The other Republican, Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley. And
Rhino.
I said, hey, I'm like, do you know that she's not even American? That she's from India? Like her name isn't Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
And this person kind of looked at me crooked, and I said, no, I'm dead serious. Like,
Yeah,
go look her name. Like you won't even pronounce her name. So if anybody's interested in voting for Nikki Haley, understand that she's not American. Like she's from India. Like what's her name? Like Usma Kamaswamy.
Sounds about right. India? I didn't even know that.
So my thing is, why is she hiding it?
Sounds like a celebrity.
Dude, Google that for me.
Martin Sheen ain't.
What's Nikki Haley?
Charlie Sheen.
I'll give you $10 if you can pronounce her real name.
I'm pretty good. I was in the Middle
accurately.
East.
And while you do that, I just kind of we're talking about the media and the media's influence on what we're dealing with. Check that. This is just a little thing about Epstein. I really appreciate this clip. Check this out. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. Watch this.
This is how they are filtering the Epstein news for you.
Yeah, you don't even hear about it
And I should mention, none of this obviously suggests any wrongdoing by the former president, suggests that he was involved in a crime.
I thank God that NBC has the guts.
It's really more about the way the media tries to remove fault. Like, listen to this. This is so creepy.
Was mentioned 50 times in the deposition of a victim of a human trafficker just because he might have taken
he was on the list.
Said human trafficker's plane
a multiple
25 times or whatever.
Oh,
just because the human trafficker's best friend Ghislaine Maxwell was at the president's daughter's wedding.
What happened to that one?
Get some other random media coverage. Get a CBS.
Publication does not imply knowledge of his alleged crimes or involvement in them. The names are part of a lawsuit. Again.
Yeah, right. This is,
if
by
this
the
was
way,
Trump,
this is
this would
line
be
number
opposite.
one.
Of course.
This is line one in every news.
It'll be all over the place.
Line one.
We have a team going through this right now. We'll make sure to bring you updates. But here's what we do know. It's important to note that being named, as you mentioned, does not necessarily mean that someone had knowledge of.
Just because his name is on it doesn't mean it.
Crime.
If this was Trump, this would be all over the news,
all over the world.
And that's the problem, John.
Right.
That's the problem.
I
and
know.
You know what? And the thing is, we don't even realize the words they use. They say, like I was talking, we're talking about the weather, right? The extreme and treacherous. We don't even realize we're hearing those words, but we are. Yeah. And that's exactly what the media does. Imagine you knowingly know.
Yeah.
You know with certainty that this person is a pedophile, yet you still go on national television and you try to excuse their actions.
Yeah.
Of course.
What's her name? What's Nikki Haley's real name?
Nikki Haley, the governor of South Carolina, her real name is like Nee Randaha.
And where was she born?
American politician. She is from, she's an Indian American. Haley is the first Indian American to serve a presidential cabinet.
Yeah. Does it say where her parents are from, though? Like from India. From India. But you never tell that by looking at her.
Yeah.
She don't look.
No, she looks
dude,
white as hell.
She looks American white. Like she looks white.
She looks
Elizabeth
English.
Warren looks like she has more Indian.
So why hide your name?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because maybe she won't get the votes from the
There
white
it is,
people.
brother. And you know what the funny thing was? You didn't know that, did you?
No,
the person I spoke to earlier today didn't know that either.
See, that's the problem.
That's
America.
the problem,
they
bro.
don't know shit.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's not that's not an accident. That's by design, my man. That's by design.
But the facts are there. Like
right. Right. And
You just gotta go find it.
Right.
Thank you for telling me. I never knew
Seriously,
that.
dude?
That's
right?
crazy.
And that's where we're at, guys. And that's, again, I don't want to drown the show out with, bad karma, but in this case, like I think
How can
about
you not talk what's going
step
on
back
in the
like
world?
January 6th. Like I only bring up January 6th because I keep saying to myself, imagine being one of those poor bastards, like wrong place at the wrong time. Like if you were even in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where is she from?
No, well, she was born in South Carolina, but her parents were Indian, right?
Indian, yeah.
From
They're
India.
both Indian,
Okay.
yeah. Imagine being like around the corner and you got lumped into that geofencing and somebody comes, FBI, and you're in jail.
Full body inspector.
Dude,
I'm down.
Right? There's no trial for those people. Yeah. They're still in jail.
Right.
And that's the type of what you just explained right there is what your parents used to tell you when you were growing up. I don't want you hanging out with him, not because he's a bad person, but because the people that are around him is also, I don't want you getting caught up in that drama.
Right.
How many times have you seen somebody that's hanging out with the wrong, being somewhere at the wrong time?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, yeah, my kid's a great kid, but he went to that house party and all of a sudden, he got arrested because something was going on.
I know a lot of situations that's happened.
Right.
First night out, hanging out with new friends, and,
right.
and the guy's dead today. I know a situation that's very close to home.
So,
hey, if you guys could travel in the future or in the past, which direction would you go in?
If I was to travel in the future or past,
Which
direction?
Which you can only go in one direction.
Past.
Oh.
You're going in the past?
Yeah.
How about you?
Because it's a certainty of what I know.
Future or past.
You know, it's a certainty of, because in the future you could go there and not.
I would definitely go to the past.
Really?
Because I think the past is more.
You're not interested to see what your legacy is going to be?
No.
I wouldn't go to the past because
maybe
people
your
are people.
Great grandchildren?
I think people had class back then. I don't see people being classy in the future.
It was different.
The world was different just 10 years ago. Never mind.
I think in the past we were more human. If you go to the future, we're going to turn into robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what the
we
future
already
holds.
look at it, just like the McDonald's person. It's already a robot.
Yeah. Well, Neuralink.
Society
Neuralink,
is itself is
Neuralink.
just.
And I'm a very religious person, so I'm down with the past.
I go back to the past.
Past, huh?
Oh, the 80s and 90s are great.
I'll go back all the way to Yeshua, and hopefully I say that, man.
All right, so I'm just a couple of questions. These are psychological questions. If you could live in any fictional world, which world would it be?
Fictional world?
Any fictional world. Right, cool, right? It's like cool questions, right?
Yeah,
where
I
does
like this.
Where does your brain go? Like like a fictional world,
yeah.
one that doesn't exist.
I would go somewhere where there's peace and love. Papa Smurf, maybe.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah, but then it's Gargamel, so I can't.
Some might say heaven. Some might say heaven.
Well, heaven's not fictional to me.
Yeah.
There's the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it could be an argument, but
Right.
to me it's not.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Your beliefs.
But heaven, yeah, absolutely. No, well, that's what I'm looking forward to right now. Not that I'm in a rush to go there, but...
No. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping
That's a tough one,
he does
man.
come and saves us, honestly.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Go ahead, Joe.
Best piece of advice?
Mm-hmm.
Just be true to yourself.
Who gave you that advice?
It was probably my football coach.
So I got two pieces of advice.
All right, I love it. Go ahead.
One of them from my dad.
Yeah.
You must work hard for what you want. The second piece of advice that really touched me and made me a better man today was his sister Melissa. And she said, forgive yourself.
I like that.
Because I was struggling after the war, especially, and everything that's happened in my past. I was really down on myself for all the sins and bad choices I made, and I thought I was gone forever with all of my problems. But that piece of information really touched me, and since then, honestly, my life's gotten better.
For me, the actions of others doesn't define who you are.
That's
my
a good
son,
one.
my son gave me that.
I like your son's wise, smart kid.
Yeah.
I don't know who his father is.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. That was a big one.
That's awesome.
We tend to take the responsibility of others and we consume it as our own. You know what I mean? Like someone's actions is direct representation of you, but that's not the case.
Well, that's another freaking piece of advice that's great for me too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Couple important dates before we go. Valentine's Day, guys, February 14th.
For the birds.
President's Day is on the 19th, and of course, one of my favorite holidays in March, St. Patrick's Day. Woo!
You Irish?
No. Well,
I just like green beer.
I'm a little, I'm a little Irish that day.
Yeah,
Actually, I've been told I'm a little Irish when I get angry, when I get a little mad.
What do you have?
That's just Portuguese. That's just being Portuguese.
It's my Lucky Charms.
I have a good friend of mine that says, there's the Irish. There it is. There it is. I'm not too bad, though. A couple of things I want to talk about before we head out. Olife Organics. Have you guys heard of this? Olife Organics? My buddy Richie Medeiros?
No, but I'm all
about it. Single guy, me, and shopping every week doesn't make any sense. Like, you see my place, guys. Like, for me to cook every day after work, it just didn't make any sense. So I was looking for an alternative way to supplement my food. Like, I wanted good food. I didn't want, fast food.
Yeah.
So, I was on Facebook, and Richie Medeiros, you know Dickie's Clam Shack?
Yeah.
Yeah, he owned, that's Richie.
Oh,
so he started this this food prep company called O-Life Organics.
O-Life?
O-Life. O-Life.com. O-LifeOrganics.com.
Can you pronounce spell O-Life?
O with the letter O-L-I-F-E, organics.com.
Well, I mean.
O-Life. And so, dude, it's, you get, if you buy it, you get 13 meals. If you buy 14, you get the 14th one free. And it's free delivery, dude. I tell you what, they're all fresh. You peel the plastic off it, dude. You stick it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and it's fresh, delicious, organic, balanced, measured meal. So I get home from work, dude, working all day, dude, for $13. Because you know what I was doing? I was coming home every day, ordering fucking DoorDash. Dude, 35, 40, $50. Yeah, dude, I'm ordering D'Angelo's has to be the most expensive food I've ever seen in my life. If you order a steak and cheese sub, dude, it's like $18. And by the time you get delivery and everything involved, dude, you're spending like $26 for a sub.
And it's cold.
It's garbage. And it's garbage.
It's trash, yeah.
This here, dude, I get my 14 meals. They're in my freezer. And, dude, the variety of food is just, it's, what a plethora. And, dude, every single one that I've eaten so far, absolutely delicious.
Do you eat 3-course meal? Like, do you eat 3 times a day?
I try to, dude. I am terrible.
It's really not that good to eat that much.
Well, they say like the more you eat, not like 3 times a day, but like if you can keep your metabolism going. That was one thing Richie told me. He goes, dude, most people struggle because they do this with their metabolism, up and down, up and down. So you eat, you don't eat. So now your metabolism doesn't know what to do. He says, but if you keep your metabolism constantly going, eating, like breaking down something, like that's the best way to keep obviously exercise your metabolism. I'll tell you what, dude, not to get too far off, but I wanted to mention it. Not that, dude, I pay for everything. Like he's not a sponsor or anything, but I know that there are a lot of people out there struggling that just work all day, drive all day, whatever it is. Dude, I got to be honest with you, dude. It's one of the best decisions I made. So I ordered 14 meals. I think it was $117. And dude, I still have a couple in my freezer, and I get home and I'm never hungry anymore.
117? Do you just started that, or you like been paying?
No. Dude, I order what I want. Like it's not like a subscription. Okay. I go online, I order them, and he'll actually tell me, hey Bobby, I left them here. Like he's got 2 locations, Rehoboth, and then in Dartmouth. And whichever one is convenient.
Dickies in Dartmouth.
Yeah, because the one in Dartmouth, the clam shop, the truck. That's his too.
Oh, okay.
And so he'll leave them there for me. I go pick them up, dude. And I'm telling you, I'll show you guys once we're done with this. I'm just saying, for anybody out there who's looking for a good meal, like good food, and not and getting away from the DoorDash and the fucking Chick-fil-A every day and the pizzas and dude, it happens quick, bro. Next thing you know, you got a beer belly.
I'm getting away from that artificial meat.
Yeah, right.
So organic is all for me.
Absolutely, bro. Right, for real. Like you never know.
Like, I don't know what the fuck
you know what? The other part of this, real quick, is dude. Whatever scraps from the food, he makes dog food. And so there's no waste.
Oh, nice.
So like, just really thoughtful. Like, just go check out the website, dude. OLifeOrganics.com, and of course, go check out the BobbyCoutoShow.com and email the show at thebobbycoutoshow@gmail.com when you can. Twitter. Please go over, support the Twitter account at Bobby_Couto, Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, and go support the show there. I will tell you this, little secret, little behind the scenes. I hired a podcast promoter.
Really?
For the show. And I will tell you, it's the coolest thing to wake up in the morning and see like there were 10,000 downloads.
Just the housekeeper.
Like the idea, right? Yeah, my housekeeper. The idea to wake up and know that 10,000 people downloaded an episode, awesome, bro, is just... like out of this world, dude. I can't. And you know what? Honestly, it's like you think to yourself, the podcast promoter doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to listen. Like if people don't like what you're putting out there, they're not going to listen to what you're doing. So
just like anything else.
You know, it's great content. The people are receptive to it. And dude, like I'm ready. I will. Quick story before we get out of here. I know your time is valuable, guys. I don't want to take up all your time, but we were supposed to be in the studio. Everybody's probably watching, going, "Oh wow, look, it looks like they're in Bobby's apartment." We are.
We're on the Al Bundy show.
I was actually I sourced a studio and. If anybody knows, if you guys watched the previous episode, especially like the Disgruntled America podcast, where we did a lot of the every episode was a live show. We had the studio, dude, and I always felt like when I was in that space, it was so easy to produce. Like it was so like. This
well, you weren't sitting on my lap either.
Right, seriously, right? You're rubbing my knee and all, making me all. So like being in that environment was so inspiring, and then kind of like losing it. And so I tried to source a studio so we could record, kind of get that vibe back. And unfortunately, the studio I went to, although intentions were great, like no hard feelings towards anybody. It wasn't what I was expecting.
It's unfortunate that it blew up.
Yeah, and and quite frankly, like the equipment I have here is much more sophisticated and state of the art in comparison to what we were going to be offered there. So, dude, if it means coming in here and chilling out, dude, I didn't mind so much. Right, the coffee was good.
I'm down.
How's that recliner, bro? Comfortable?
Yeah.
Right, nothing wrong with that. How about you? You doing all right over there?
I do all right. I don't drink much White Claws, but the Coronas ran out. So.
There's no
so
more
guys,
Coronas?
talk your shit.
All right. Awesome, bro. So you guys, dude, anything you guys want to bring up? My man Vito, you got.
Yeah, so I got a new song coming out. It's called Guide Me.
Where can people listen, bro? Where can
you can listen on YouTube at pretty much every major music platform. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music. I got a new song coming out called Guide Me, which is I think it's one of my better tracks. But my last one's Tears of Men that Bobby played in the beginning of the song. If you guys can subscribe and check me out, that'd be great, and I appreciate it.
Awesome. And what's your? It's at My Man Vito.
Yeah, My Man Vito. Pretty much.
That's it. On Instagram, Facebook.
Oh, Instagram. I don't Insta. I don't Snap. I don't.
So Facebook,
tweet.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Would be the,
yeah. Maybe I should put myself out more. But
get on Twitter, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody, get on Twitter, dude.
Well,
if
now
you
that you talked highly of it,
bro. I'm telling you, go give it a shot.
Yeah.
It's a little cumbersome to get used to it at first because it's the opposite. Usually you scroll up.
Yeah.
Now you're scrolling down. You know what I mean? Because you're always updating your feed. You're going to the most.
Yeah,
you're going from oldest to the newest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I usually Instacart. I don't Instagram.
Yeah. Dude, I'm ruthless on there, bro. Like I'm dropping F-bombs all over the place. Like,
That's
safe.
what's up.
Nobody's safe.
Well, I'm a sailor, so I'll be
get on there, bro. Get on there. Go check it out.
I will. Because you said so.
I asked. It's funny because I was at in order to monetize, you got to be at least 500, and I think I was like at 3 and change, and so I really started working hard at it and getting involved, and I threw it out there on Facebook. I'm like, hey, if anybody's out there. And it was funny because I'm watching it, and not only did I hit 500, but we're looking at 700. So like literally, it exploded. People are following, and I think that is just another avenue for the show to generate some revenue.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're looking for sponsors. I'm in the process of looking for like legitimate sponsors because you mentioned the studio. I would love to do that. And so if anybody's out there, and you have a space that. We could make a studio. Like, I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. I'm down.
We're interested in it. And for so many reasons.
Gives me a reason to stay in this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go down south.
Yeah.
But.
All right. So that's pretty much it. Joe, you got anything you want to add to us?
No.
Nothing. All right, everybody. Well, we appreciate you making the time to come out here. Everybody on the live cast, we really appreciate it. I mean, I guess it's kind of last minute. We made it work in the space that we're in. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for making the time to spend this with me. And it's always dude, it's always a pleasure to be in this space and talking to you guys and sharing the brain food. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know we talk about a lot of things, and more so, I think getting into this space now where my life is very different. My life isn't what it used to be. My life is completely changed. And you know what? I think. Quite frankly, I think it's something like a word of advice. 2 things: 1, be the best version of yourself. Right? Don't let anybody control you.
No,
and
never.
2, always understand that things can change in a minute. Like you always be prepared. Always be ready to pivot. Like when you need to pivot, bro, you need to pivot. And sometimes it's not going to be the convenient time. Like you're not going to be, this is convenient. You know what I mean? It's never going to be that time. It's going to be the worst possible time.
Yeah.
But understand that there is life on the other side of that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I'm proof positive of that, and I choose to continue to chase it, man. I'm gonna keep chasing it.
You guys remind me of that.
Right? Hustle.
My guy.
It's just a season.
Yeah, it's just a season, bro.
Yeah. That's it.
It's just a season.
I'm ready for the playoffs.
Yeah. All right.
Playoffs?
Kidding me? They won the game.
Patriots ain't even in it.
KC and
playoffs.
Dude, KC and the Bulls, Buffalo's Bills.
8:30.
That's tonight.
8:30.
That's 8:30 tonight.
8:30.
That's gonna be the one to watch.
That is.
Yeah.
Well, San Francisco beat Green Bay. So Green Bay's out, San Francisco's in.
So
Baltimore won, right?
Yep.
So Baltimore won, San Francisco won.
So now Tampa Bay, right now they're actually playing.
They're playing now, Tampa Bay. So yeah, I don't know.
So what do you guys think of the Super Bowl?
49ers and Ravens.
Ravens, yeah, Ravens. Okay.
I think you're right. Although,
and I think Kansas City's
City's
going to win tonight.
Beat Buffalo tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so KC moves on, and then who do they lose to?
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
Yeah, I like that. I want the Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens are a good team, man.
Yeah,
they're really
good. That guy, what's the face? He deserves it.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, my buddy Dior, he's a fan. So what?
Do you guys like? I mean, I know we're kind of dragging on here, but this whole thing with football being fake. Did you buy any of it?
Man, I don't want to think that way.
I think Saul loses, bro. People that lose Vegas, they're like, it's fixed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guy breaks his neck and plays football. Oh yeah, it's fake.
But there are some situations where you kind of question somebody's tackling.
And stuff.
But I think you can find that anywhere. Like you could.
Well, they're saying it's scripted because of the logo of the.
Yeah, because it's got
of
the colors.
the Super Bowl.
So
it's red and purple.
Huh. My brother used to always say that. Oh, it's fixed. Look at the commercial.
Well, they brought up the last 5 Super Bowls in the Super Bowl colors, and it was the teams that were in the Super Bowl. It was their colors.
Do you know what's funny? They told us wrestling was fake, and we still choose to believe it.
And motherfuckers still get broke in there.
Because we'd say it all the time, like that can't be fake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my dad. Oh, why watch that fake shit?
That can't be
fuck
fake.
You, Dad.
That can't be fake. You just hit him with a chair. That can't be fake.
I just told my brother. Is this
the
fake,
fact
Dad?
that he hit him with a chair is real, but the fact that the reason why he hit him with the chair, that's the fake part.
It's all scripted.
The reason. Yeah. But that was. Did I miss that, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. We need some violence, some Tom and Jerry in our life. That's what these kids need. They need some Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, they need to get
This
their
whole
ass
SpongeBob
That's what you got-
SquarePants thing.
you
Like
UFC.
SpongeBob SquarePants. That's not good for our kids.
Get G.I. Joe and
There's a lot of
He-Man
adult
out
jokes.
there.
I like SpongeBob.
I do too.
G.I. Joe, He-Man.
Right?
Thundercats.
Right. Although
Thundercats.
I will
shit.
tell you that He-Man was quite the beta. Right?
He-Man was my shit.
What was his before he was He-Man? What was his name? Lionel? Was it Lionel? No,
No, that's Thundercats.
All right. Okay.
Thundercats.
He's right.
Roar!
Skeletor.
What's He-Man's
Skeletor.
name?
Battle of Grayskull.
No, but what's
I forget
He-Man's
what his name
name
is.
when he's not He-Man?
She-Man?
I don't know.
Because he's wicked beta.
He-Man was the barbarian of the universe.
Yes,
Holy fuck.
but
Yeah.
when he became He-Man,
Masters of the
right? He would
universe.
become. But before he
There was
was
a movie
He-Man,
like that.
he was like, "Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh man,
Yeah,
now
look at my pussycat. Look at my pussycat."
He's like, oh,
no,
no.
that's She-Man. I don't watch that.
I'm telling you, bro. Listen, when you leave here, go look. When He-Man was in his
He-Man got a clock.
normal
Right?
form, in his like pedestrian
So
form,
Superman was a nerd.
He was a drag queen
Right.
at night.
right? Like they were opposite.
Yeah.
Like they were the beta, and then they would become the alpha.
Well, there was a show called it was a cartoon called She-Ra. That was like the female version of He-Man.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But she was.
But I didn't know He-Man was a cross-dresser at night. I didn't know that happened.
When you watch He-Man, watch He-Man before he becomes He-Man.
He was
He's
He-Boy.
a vagina.
He's a
He's a vagina.
regular person.
He was He-Boy.
No,
He
he's not a
King.
regular person.
No?
No, he's wicked like
So
beta.
is it like
Damn, this is before
Is
our
it
time.
like
You're
Hulk?
older than us.
almost like flamboyant?
it's almost like Hulk?
What
You know,
channel
he's
you
just a
watching,
scrawny
bro?
little guy, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, but David Banner was kind of. Dr. David Banner was kind of like, "You don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." Like He-Man wouldn't say that.
That's Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner, bro. The fuck? David Banner was a rapper. I got you, though. David Banner, bitch. That's Bruce, my boy Bruce.
Are you sure it's not Lou Ferrigno?
And this guy drinking coffee.
It's not Lou Ferrigno.
down in the south
It's
over
Lou
there with David
Ferrigno.
Banner.
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno is the the actor, yeah.
It's Lou.
That's my nigga Bruce.
He really said
Anyway.
David Banner.
That's what Southern rap. That's David Banner.
Yeah,
I know.
your
I mean, you get
outro's
down.
got to be a David Banner.
It has to be. We're going to do David Banner on the way out. But yeah, so take a look at
Boy,
that.
Bruce.
Take a look at that. So everybody, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for the
yeah,
after
we're
show.
a little over the top. We're going on 2 hours. I really appreciate everybody being here. Please go over, support the show. Obviously, Apple, Spotify, Google, TikTok, you name it, bro. You name it. We're pretty much everywhere. So
MySpace?
go listen. No, yeah, well, you know what? I was going to revive my MySpace, but I couldn't remember my password.
I can't remember mine either.
My attic space.
I don't even think I
It's
can
still there,
remember
I
it.
think. I think if you type in MySpace, I think
Get
it's
out.
still
I think
there.
it's still there, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still there.
I just can't remember what my
Yeah.
what
I've
my
been-
login was.
It's living in with Tumblr in the afterlife.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's in Cloud 9.
Yeah.
I've been at storage space. That's about it.
We appreciate you all. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
being
you.
here, everybody. And always remember, all roads lead here. Have a good one. Peace out.
Good night.
Peace. Peace.